Heck yeah.
You say that you're here in my arms. I think that you should know that together we belong. You are not one all the time. I can break any reason. Go, 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 go. But I was born out of
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back. We are here for Saturday Night Vibes, chilling. We will have a public lobby open. Feel free to join. We're going to be flying in the new Apocalyptic Tesseract map.
New phone who dis.
By Boner FPV. Mike Bergman, what's poppin', brother? Welcome. WB, Callisto, what's happening? ZDZ, what's happening? Did I miss anybody? Great Scott, what's happening? How you guys doing? Good evening. All right, let's get a lobby going. How's everybody doing? How's your weekend going? Anybody get out there and do some flying this weekend?
Positive vibes, brother.
You better have.
A good evening it is.
Sergio, what's happening, brother? Good afternoon. Positive vibes to you as well, sir. Good evening, depending on where you are. A good evening it is. So far, so good. I'm liking it.
Wonderfully.
Except for those very rude sneezes that just decided to pop in right there. Thank God we have control over our mixer here. It's just for you guys. You know, you only sneeze your whole face into the microphone so many times before you're finally like, maybe I should find a way to mute that. Maybe I should find a way to take it down.
Drive by sneezing.
Exactly. It was here, and then it's gone. Just that quick. Oh, jacked me up while it was here, though, man. Got me quick. Got me with the sniffles. All right, let's get this lobby going. Feel free, gentlemen.
About to fly my tiny hoop and watch infinity poops.
Hell yeah. Nothing like whoops and poops. I'm all about it. Do we have no volume here? There we go. There it is. There's that beautiful sound. Oh, okay. Never mind. Sorry. It's going to take me a minute to find my bearings. Apologize. First time flying today. Also been drinking a little bit, so, you know. Could be good. Could be bad. We'll see. I've also had just no warm-up today. I was busy day. Have not had a moment to go out and fly, which is unfortunate. A day without flight is like a day without air.
I didn't get to fly yet either.
Oh.
I'm building.
Okay, what you building? Anything fun? What you got? We went up, tonight we went up the street right behind my house. There is a place called Escape This that has escape rooms. So my wife and I are actually sort of veterans. Out of the 5 rooms they have, we just did the 5th room tonight.
Setting up my
took
new
some friends of ours
TX12
that had
and
never
setting
done
up
a
the
room,
3-inch
never done an
toothpick with
escape room
HD0.
before. A lot of fun, good time.
Same swapping the Mobile to the twig frame, then building a new 5-inch frame.
Nice. Swapping the Mob Beetle over to the twig frame. Okay. So the new
Wait,
TX12.
what's these rooms?
Escape rooms. Escape rooms, if you've never heard of those, it's kind of like playing a video game in real life. It's a lot of fun if you like puzzles. But they lock you in a room. Not really lock you. You can leave whenever you'd like. But they put you in a room with some other folks. I went with my wife, my brother-in-law, and my sister-in-law. And they give you a little backstory. Tonight we were crime scene investigators trying to identify a murder weapon and a murder suspect. We had all the other clues. We just had to put them all together. But they put you in a room, and there's a whole bunch of puzzles and mini games and little mysteries you got to solve and cool little things you got to do. At one point, there was a locker that we had to get open, and once we found the combination in the room and got it open, the way we found the combination, you had to use, they had a steamer, you know, like a steamer for your clothes to get the wrinkles out. They had a steamer you had to take and use it on the mirror. The mirror in the bathroom had a code written on it, but you couldn't see the code until you hit it with steam. So it's shit like that. It's like you're playing a video game in real life. It's probably one of the most like fun things I can think of that you could like pay to go do on a date, is go do an escape room. Not only does it build a good relationship with the person you went with, you guys like do a lot of teamwork stuff, you know.
Interesting.
But it's such
Sounds like a
it's
great
such
idea
a
for a
high
business.
when you
Very
finish
cool,
the room
man.
and you solve it. Like tonight, we solved it and we didn't even realize we were done. We solved it with 18 minutes left. And so my wife and I have gone and done 4 rooms before tonight by ourselves, just me and her. And they always say, this room's made for 4 people. You really shouldn't do it with 2. Okay. We've beaten the majority of them just by ourselves with the 2 of us. With time to spare. Not a whole lot. I think our first room, it was like 3.5 minutes left. And the second one was like 5 minutes. But tonight it was 20 minutes. Like we just crushed it. It's 18 minutes left. It's insane. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's even more fun
That's
with
super
a group.
Cool. Do you ever have to do anything like pick locks?
Yes. Well, not so intricate. So lock picking in an escape room would be like the lock pick is a magnet and the lock is the other magnet. So like when you get it and when you find the magnet wherever it is, like tonight the magnet was attached to a gyroscope, or I think that's what it's called.
I would murder
Gyroscope?
the real locks.
No, not a gyroscope. What's it called? When you maybe it is a gyroscope. They use them for endoscope. Endoscope. Thank you. An endoscope. Thank you. I thank nobody. My brain just remembered. But an endoscope is a little camera on a long cable, and there was a giant magnet taped to the end of ours tonight. So I was like, oh shit, you probably got to use a magnet. And there was a sink in the room, and the sink's drain was wide open. So I stuck the thing down there, and when it got to the bottom, the magnetic tip of the camera thing I put down there opened up a magnetic latch and popped open a little cabinet. So it's shit like that. It's like, it's very like, is it tactile? Is that the word I'm thinking of? Where it's like, it's very interactive. Very interactive. Like you get to like feel locks open and open doors and break into things. It's fun. It's just tons of fun. It's like being a kid for an adult. They're a little pricey to go do, but to be honest, it's so worth the money. Like it's better than any movie I've been to. It gets you hyped to go back in. Like we took our brother and sister-in-law tonight, and they've never been to one. So we took them tonight, and it was like as soon as we beat the room, as soon as they found out it was over, my brother-in-law goes, well, I'm hooked. He was like, I'm ready for another one. Yeah, man. My wife and I found out about it in January, and we've just been going ever since.
I bet some people show up whacked on coke.
Oh, I bet. That would be so much more fun. Well, I don't know, actually. I've never done coke in my life. True story. Never saw, like, a want. But we did go over to a little pub afterwards, a little bar across the street, or down the shopping mall, and had some dinner and some drinks. It was a fun time.
Totally LOL.
Ooh.
I actually haven't ever taken it either.
Yeah, I remember when I was in high school, there was a bunch of guys I hung out with. I used to hang out with like a bunch of like kind of, unfortunately, kind of like some gang types. The neighborhood I grew up in was a lot of like Spanish and black gangs, so that's just like my friends. That's just who I hung out with. But anyways, I remember this party I was at in high school, and they were all just getting blitzed on coke. And I'm like sitting there smoking weed, like I'm good. I think I'm all right. I think I'm gonna stick with the green stuff. I'm gonna stick with the green stuff. You guys go ahead with that booger sugar. That ain't for me. I think I like a naturally. I'm always naturally pretty amped. You know, I got like a lot of natural energy. Yeah, me and coke probably wouldn't mix very well, anyways. Like I'm the type of dude who like smoke a joint first thing in the morning and like go get my day on. You know, like I like stuff like that. But I don't know if I need more energy. I like things that kind of dull my energy a little bit. Like makes my eyes stop vibrating for a minute.
I swear every I've ever met has done it. But I haven't either. Ecstasy? Yes.
Yeah.
But not coke.
Ditto. Yeah, same. I actually did ecstasy the first time in my life on accident. I was in Mexico on vacation with my family. It was the first and only time I got to go. And my older brother, I was 15. My older brother was 18. And in Mexico, at 18, you're allowed to drink. So he got an adult bracelet for the resort we were at, and I had a kid bracelet. But we went into the bars, and it was all ages at the bars. You just had to have the right color bracelet. So I think it was like yellow for a minor, green for an adult, or vice versa. It was one or the other. But I just remember my brother had the adult one, and he got me.
No way. LOL.
He got me a rum and Sprite, and it was like white rum, or clear rum and Sprite. And I got hooked. I was just drinking those all the time. It was a lot of fun. We were drinking. We were having a great time. And then I found out that one of the groomsmen, they used to do, this was a resort.
Fuck all that other shit. Trash is too many lives.
They used to they probably still do, weddings in the resort, right? So you can just get married right in the resort. So there was a wedding earlier that day, and apparently one of the groomsmen had put a fuck ton of ecstasy into all of the bottles of white rum at the bar. And like the bartenders knew about it, and they were just fine with it apparently, and just nobody cared. But anyways, I just remember having a wild night and drinking lots of orange juice, dancing to a lot of music I normally wouldn't dance to. Had a great time. I just don't think I'd ever do it again. Just smoke weed for it? Yeah, I agree. Yeah, just smoke weed.
Holy shit, man.
You'll be alright.
Such a bad idea, LMAO.
Just smoke weed.
Hello everyone, by the way.
You'll be good. Hello to you, Mr. Poodlehawk. Happy Saturday to you, and welcome. And yeah, I concur. As I get older, you know what? Try all of them. Try all of them. Just don't make a habit out of any of them. Any of the harsh ones. I feel like if you got a pretty decent head on your shoulders, you'll stay away from that kind of stuff. You know, you might try it. You might dabble. Your friends are trying it. You're like, yeah, I'd give it a little whirl. You know, I'm 16 at a house party. Yeah, you know, I'll take a little acid. I'll do a little whatever. Although I never did that either. Yeah, just don't make a habit out of any of it. Any of it, really. Alcohol, tobacco, any of that stuff.
Did you see my Fractal 75 video I posted today?
Just don't want to make a habit out of it. Did you post it in the Fractal group? If you posted it in the Fractal group, then I think yes, I did watch that. If you didn't post it in the Fractal group, then I missed it. And please tell me where to find it. I'll go watch it now, or you know, when we take a moment. Which I'm still kind of spinning from all the drinks at dinner, so we're gonna keep flying until I feel like I'm gonna barf, and then I'll stop.
An FPV habit is okay though, LOL.
Oh yeah. That's right. You got it.
Here.
Yeah, FPV habit, totally acceptable. That's a healthy habit. Well, it's not healthy for your bank account, but it's healthy for everything else. Yorkie Poo, what up, brother? I see you out here. Do your ripping, man. Don't worry about it. Have your fun. Just still trying to see if I can find any problems with this map, but honestly,
I'm strung out on FPV.
I think this map's pretty solid. I think this one's ready to go.
I think FPV is the most expensive drug I have ever been hooked on.
I agree.
Flat broke and happy about it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, right. Yep.
Yeah, I'm a junkie for FPV too.
I'll take it though, you know? I'll wear that with pride all day, like a badge of honor. FPV junkie. So I was out yesterday flying my whoop, doing some of those.
No doubt have a lot more to show for the money at least.
Doing some of those Sabang Tornadoes. Bro, are you kidding me? That dude said that it's not possible in a whoop. Are you joking? It's like the easiest thing ever. It's like the easiest trick ever. Like I could do it all day in a whoop. In a 1S whoop. Like I don't even need 2S power. Not even necessary. Don't even. I'll do it with bi-blades on a half-dead 1S battery. So for those who are curious, if you weren't here yesterday morning, this guy apparently says that you can't do a Sabang Tornado, which, don't even get me started with the names. But anyways, a Sabang Tornado is a juicy flick, up and over, and then this way you start pulling yourself back forward while still spinning. It's really simple. Like you just really just keep your spinning going and you just move forward. It's so easy. And they're like, no, you can't do it in a whoop. Bull hockey. Are you going to bed? Yeah. Uno momento. I'll be right back, boys.
Dude, I've heard people say a lot of things are impossible on a hoop. Then heads proves I'm wrong. I've never heard of it till now. My fractal 75 frame should be here Monday.
Alright. My bad, boys. We're back. Never heard of it till now. I literally just heard of it the other day. Like, actually heard the name of it. But I've been doing it for forever. I just didn't realize that's what it was. I normally would do like...
My fractal 75 will
I would do it
also
after
be here
one.
Monday.
Like, I would do one juicy flick, and then just do like that spiral to get myself going forward, and then I'd do my normal little like chin flick. You know, my little heads up flick? I would do that. And so, I asked Shawnee D yesterday, I was like, can you send me a video and just show me what a Sabang Tornado is supposed to look like? And then I'll go see if I can do it on a whoop.
I want a fractal 65.
And he sent it to me, and I was
Tiny
like, bro,
whoops are awesome.
I'm doing
fractal
that anyways.
75s are awesome.
I do that
You will love it.
anyhow. My Fractal 75 will also be here Monday. Hell yeah, dude. You're going to love that thing. Such a good whoop frame. My God. So sturdy. Easy to tune. Solid, man. Tiny whoops are awesome. Fractal 75s are awesome. You will love it. Yes, I agree. I want a Fractal 65? Get one. If you can. You should. They're pretty cool frames.
That chin flick is so dope.
I have a video on the channel showing how to make that Fractal 65 really light too. Really light. I think I got mine down to like sub 16 grams, I think.
I'm following the stream.
Woo.
Going Quicksilver. Going to rip.
Nice. Hell yeah. Yeah, I would do Quicksilver too. It's just so easy. Like that stream, what was it, 20 minutes maybe spent in setup, and it's because I was like taking my sweet time. If I tried to do it quick, it would be way faster. Quicksilver is just so good. We need Betaflight to be that simple again. Make Betaflight simple again, please. Give me like a whoop version of Betaflight. Give me a Betaflight S. Give me Betaflight Lite. Give me something that's not like the full-blown. I don't need all the filters, and I don't need all that other crap. Just give me like the normal 357 tune. Just that old Betaflight. Real simple. Simple times, you know?
I'm going to I need it. I crashed a lot.
Oh.
Dude, Quicksilver is amazing.
Yes, it is.
That's what I'm my
Sick.
new 75.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for making that video, heads.
For sure, man.
With your video and Eve helping me out, I had that thing in the air in a few hours.
Hell yes. Excellent. Good. That's what's up, man. I love to hear that. That frame is just so good. It's so solid. And Yeve's such a good dude. Like, as far as like a business owner goes, I know quite a few people now. I've met quite a few people, you know, in FPV that own their own little companies and businesses and stuff like that. And I swear, Yeve's got to be one of the most humble dudes I've ever met. Who will he'll call himself an idiot all day. And it's like, dude, you're like a certified genius with some of the stuff you think of. He thinks about things a lot unconventionally. You know, he thinks about things very different than most people. But that gives you the best products. That gives you the best stuff. Because he's really thinking about all the things that nobody else is even thinking twice about. They're just moving right past it. But he'll sit and harp on small things all day just to figure out why it's a problem. It's just that type of person he is. But anyways, I love his stuff.
He really is a cool dude. I like psing with him.
Yeah, same. I'm lucky enough to have that, like, that kind of relationship with him where I can just hit him up at like 3 in the morning, just BS about whatever idea I got on my head or whatever he's got going on, you know? He's that type of person, though. He's a good dude. Like, all of his products aside, him as the creator, he's a nice fella. No. But anyways, there should be a pretty neat video coming out soon of a bunch of us Whoop pilots doing Sabang Tornadoes. All in one video. I was trying to do some crazy shit with mine.
Creator of Fractal.
Yeah, Yves, or I always feel like I'm saying it wrong. He's French. It's Yves is his name, and I swear I've heard him say it Yves. But hey, I've heard people say it all
I got a depend Happy
differently.
Model X12 board from him for my wingman finally. I should have it built pretty soon.
Yeah, he's a good dude. But yeah, he's the one who owns Fractal Engineering, who came up with all the concepts, who designed all the frames. I mean, it's just him. It's just him. It's him and his wife that like package up all the products that you guys get from them.
That's
so
correct,
I mean,
heads.
it's done perfectly. It's just done perfectly. It's such a good business model. It's like close knit. He built like an amazing little community that's real tight. It's fine. He's doing it right. He's doing it right. He's not in any rush. You know, he's not in any hurry to like be some big brand. He just wants to put out good stuff and like make people happy. And you know, you get that vibe from him. You don't get the vibe of like, yeah, you're just trying to make your stuff popular or make some money, or you just want me to push your product. Okay, whatever. Like with him, it's a totally different vibe. You get the kind of vibe where like he'd be embarrassed to put something out unless he was 100% happy with it. Like he's not putting anything out for money. He's putting things out because like he wants people to see his art, you know. But yeah, I love that. I love that about that company.
Not dependent on hype.
Yes,
I
exactly.
will buy everything he makes, every time. It's all been great so far, and I know he tested everything he sent me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and that's the other thing, is like you know that he went through the painstaking process of trying everything. Bro, I can tell you. There's this, I don't know if he wants everybody to know this, but I'll tell you anyways. But like just this week, I was talking to him in DMs, and he was saying that he had like 10 bind and fly orders, and all of them that he was doing, like all of them were giving him these problems. And he's just got to figure it out. It's not his fault. It's like, it wasn't his frame giving it a problem. It's the electronics. Like on the bind and flies, he doesn't have any control over that, you know? But he fixes them. He like replaces ESCs on flight controllers, on all-in-one little Whoop flight controllers. It's absurd. But like his passion for the hobby is just, it's there. You can feel it. I love that about him. Oops.
Man, that is a skill to have. He even fixed bad ESCs on the FC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. He does. Yeah, he'll save old flight controllers. He even asked me to like send him my old flight controllers. Like if I have ESCs that die, he'll take them. He'll pull them right off of the flight controller that I had. He'll pull the good ones off. You know, they're 4-in-1. So if I have one go bad, that whole board's dead to me. But to him, there's 3 other good ESCs on there, good sets of ESCs on there for him to use. So why not? But he does all types of like small, fine electronic stuff like that. It just goes above and beyond. Like I said, it's just, you don't get quality control like that from any other company. They're too big. Their demand is too high. They just don't have the staff or the manpower, you know, to do that. But with him, you get that. So.
I've seen the pictures. It's impressive, to put it mildly.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's a wild man. Oops.
I save my old flight controllers for that reason. I plan to get better at reballing. It's a really awesome skill.
You should.
Here's a question.
It's really hard, but
I'm
yeah,
fairly new, so this may be a dumb question, but since the FCS are AIO, do they not require any Blue Healy configs? I don't get it.
They do. It's kind of already baked in though. So most ESC all-in-one flight controller, like if everything's already built in, all that ESC firmware is already baked in. You just need to look and see which one it's using usually. In my experience, I don't really ever play with my ESCs too much unless I have to change motor direction. And to do motor directions, I just use BL Heli Configurator, which is a browser-based, Chrome-based browser program, which it's super simple. It's really light, and you can just hop in there and swap motor, directions really quickly and really easily. So I usually just use that. Usually, unless there's calls for something else. Some of the ones I'm running use Blue Jay or any other version of BL Heli. Oops.
So motor direction from my experience can be changed in beta flight.
Yes,
Does that
now
requirement come from using Quicksilver or something other than beta flight?
now Betaflight
At
has that
RDOT,
option.
the AIO boards we use on tiny whoops have both beta flight
It didn't
for the FC and Blue Healy / Blue Jay for ESCs.
Right. It didn't
I
used
wish
to
I
be
had
that
good
easy.
soldering skills.
It didn't used to
I'm
be so
getting better
easy
and
to
I've been
change.
practicing, but it's definitely an art and not for people with high anxiety.
Yeah. To change motor direction. It used to be a lot harder. Now with 4.3, I'm pretty sure all that stuff's just baked right into Betaflight. Quicksilver has it baked in, but I think it only works for certain kinds of ESCs. I don't know a whole lot about Quicksilver yet. I'm still learning it. I know it has the
Awesome.
option in there, but
Thanks.
it doesn't work
That
with
helps a lot.
whatever I was using.
Motor remapping. Fun stuff.
Motor remapping used to be so hard. It's so much easier now. As of like a few months ago, I was having a pain trying to remap motors. Not that I couldn't do it, but just that it was painstaking, like just took forever. Now it's much easier. I think. It feels much easier at least. Sabang Tornado. Let me just do that all the way across the map. It's not... I don't understand why that fella felt like it wouldn't be able to be done in a whoop. Like, out of anything that you think couldn't be done in a whoop, you think a couple, like, low-altitude 360s can't be done in a whoop? A couple low-altitude vanny rolls, or barrel rolls, whatever you want to call them. Phew.
Yeah, Betaflight 4.3 made life a lot easier.
It did and it didn't. It did in ESC terms for whoop. It did not in tuning for a whoop. I hate tuning on 4.3. That's the whole reason I switched to Quicksilver
It's
is because
so easy now.
4.3 just got so obnoxious.
I was terrified to change motor directions with the old Betaflight.
I would have been.
I
well,
watched
I
that
was,
video.
too.
Whether it was part of the trick or not, he would roll forward, then backwards without stopping.
Part of the trick or not, he would roll forward, then backwards without stopping.
Yeah, I agree about the tuning.
Yeah, it's just overcomplicated. It's great for tuning a 5-inch. It's great for tuning a 5-inch. Even toothpicks, it's not bad.
Did you do IGAO or RaceGAO?
I did IGAO Season 2. I competed in IGAO Season 2. I was a
To be fair,
finalist.
I don't see that many people busting those tricks on a whoop.
No, you don't. And that's because a lot of other people think the same way. They also think it's not doable on a whoop. So that's why they don't do it. They don't even try. I never thought trippy spinning was possible on a whoop until I tried it. I didn't know I needed to give it so much throttle. But now I do all types of crazy trippy spin shit with my whoop. And it's just took some practice, you know, some time. Whoops. Nope, not enough. Hang on, we got that. Alright, so through top gate. Maddie through bottom gate. Hard flip.
I was a lot less interested in flying a whoop until I started watching your flights.
Oh, awesome. I'm glad that I'm able to do that for people. Nathan Loops originally did that for me. I got into the hobby and I was only flying brushed.
Watched it again. Momentum from the flip carried him back. Then he went forward.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to use that juicy flick is what gives you your backwards momentum this way. And then you just start hammering your throttle. Watch my throttle on the stick down on the bottom of the screen. The throttle gets pumped. You pump your throttle. You don't stay on your throttle and you don't blip it. You kind of just give it nice smooth kind of pumps like that, where you catch it when you're facing upright. You don't want to throttle while you're upside down in the roll. You want to throttle when you're right here, like going through this spot. You just want to pump your throttle up just a little bit. So yeah, I'll show you full length. Let's go full speed. All right, so we go flip over, and then we're just gonna hammer throttle, hammer throttle, hammer throttle, hammer throttle. That'll move you forward. You give those little blips of throttle forward.
It's like doing a Harrier roll with a fixed wing.
And you just
Yeah,
slowly...
the Headmisto video is great for a slow tutorial.
Give that throttle back, just a little at a time. Every rotation, a little more throttle. And then you'll start moving yourself forward again. A little bit of yaw, a little bit of roll, whole lot of throttle blip, not a whole lot of pitch.
So you don't lose altitude.
Exactly, yep. That's what those little throttle blips are there for, just keep you up. But also, it gives you a little forward momentum too. It speeds you up some. So you kind of got to be ready for that.
I also have experience with whoops from a few years ago, but thought 5 was the only way to go until I found you on YouTube.
Oh, thank you, man. That's awesome. That's great. Yeah, it's
have come
a
a
common
long damn
misconception. Whoops really have. Just from when I started. I've been flying for 2 years now. And when I got in...
Did you ever get the Happy Model X12 5-in-1 flying well?
When I got
Whoops
in,
are a lot
it
of
was...
fun for several reasons. They don't piss very many people
the whoops
off.
were not
they are sometimes
what they
durable,
used to, or
and
what they
can
are
fit
now.
in
You know, like they were
spaces.
way worse.
If it's raining or hot, you can still fly.
They flew really bad. The tunes were awful. The motors were underpowered. Everything kind of sucked about them. But like they've slowly but surely over the last like 2 years just completely blown up. Did you ever get the Happy Model X12 5-in-1 flying well? I have an X12 on a toothpick upstairs that is flying great. It's a 2-inch 1S toothpick. I haven't used it in a whoop yet. I've been avoiding it in whoops because of the diamond ELRS board. It's just that diamond ELRS board's so good.
The flying inside,
I've just been using that.
They're pretty damn durable depending on what you buy. They rarely break anything when you crash into it, and they're relatively cheap.
Yep. Yeah, and you won't kill anybody if you smack into them with it, you know? Like, I got random little people running around my house at any time of the day, so gotta be careful. Yo, we're doing those reverse a little funky. Starting that low to the ground.
Where did the head's name come from?
That is a really long, stupid, old story. So heads used to be heads snot, like head snot, like snot in your head, like boogers. When I was 15, some buddies of mine, I used to play Counter-Strike.
Do you just run 250 milliwatts on hours?
I used to play Counter-Strike a lot, and some friends of mine were playing on a like a semi-pro team, and they needed somebody to fill in for them for a game, and so I needed a name, and I had a really bad cold and a bunch of boogers in my face, and I used to just say I had like snot in my head, like my head was just filled with snot. So that's where that started. And then I was 16.
Love watching your
know.
videos, so I've mastered a lot of different tricks, but struggling with the Maddie
Heads
Flip.
came
Any
from
tips
that.
or
It's just been shortened. People just called me Heads back then, and then it just kept, becoming a thing. And now when I hear my real name, it weirds me out. Like every once in a blue moon, I'll hear my real name, and it kind of freaks me out a little bit. Not freaks me out, but like there's like a pause where I have to think. Like, that's you, stupid. Respond. But yeah, that's where it came from. A really dumb old Counter-Strike name. And I just dropped the snot part of it because people just called me Heads all the time. And I just left it at that. Just like, whatever. Could have changed it. Don't really care that much. That's what people call me. That's what people call me. Oop. I'm so glad he left this big old thing here in the center. Could have destroyed it with the rest of the destruction on the map, but the fact that he left it and just added some unicorns in the top for you to look at while you're trippy spinning is so sick. Look at that. Gorgeous.
Always great to hear those stories of where usernames come from, haha.
Mine's pretty lackluster. I don't know. Every time I've told it in my life, I've been like, I should change my I should change my name. But whatever. It's stuck, so I don't care. I'm not that worried about it. And like I said, now that so many people call me it, it's just pointless to try to change it. Wouldn't make any sense. Just confuse people.
I love his maps.
Woo! Boner makes some serious maps, man. His maps are nuts. You want to talk about an interesting FPV name? Boner FPV. So I mastered a lot of different tricks, but struggling with the Maddie Flip. Any tips or tricks? So Maddie Flip, you want to practice under first, which is really deceiving. You'd think you want to practice this flip over part. You think you need to practice this part, right? The most is that flip over part. That part's really not that important. Not as important as you'd think. What's really important the way I practice these is I would come up like I'm doing a power loop, stop here, and go back down. It's the going backwards after the flip that's really the hard part. A lot of people go like this and then just end like this. They're just facing forward. Not a Maddie flip. You know, it's just kind of like a front flip. What you want to do is find that happy spot right here where you're traveling backwards. That's the hard part to find. So the way I practiced finding that was flipping upside down, coming back underneath it, and then just do a U. Just keep making a U shape until you're nice and comfortable with it. Like super comfortable with this part right here, going backwards. Once you're nice and comfy going backwards, wait until you come back around and then try just giving yourself a little throttle, just a little pump. No throttle right here, no throttle, no throttle, no throttle. Gently back on the throttle to go backwards. So just blip.
Right on.
Hold it,
some
hold
folks
it, hold
have
it.
some really odd
Slowly
usernames, LMAO.
come back on it.
I just
Nice and
wanted to pop in and say what's up.
Hey, what up, Brian? Thanks for stopping by, dude. It's been a little while. Don't talk very often. Where you been? How you been? How's the woodworking? Are you still doing woodworking stuff? Oh god, I think the last time we talked to you, that was kind of like your current thing you were working on with some woodworking stuff. Yeah, Maddie flips are a fickle beast. They're a tough one. And it's really, this is the hardest part. The hardest part is just being upside down here, going backwards. This is the hard part. This part, flipping over the thing, that's pretty simple. You can watch it, you know, you just stare at it. Here, though, you're kind of on your own. You gotta kind of just feel that. But after you get the feeling of it, it becomes like a power loop where you just, you know, like a barrel roll. Eventually, it just becomes second nature. You don't even think about it. Just keep practicing the same way. Keep practicing the same direction, just doing that underneath.
Been doing well, man, thanks.
Practicing that backwards motion.
Still doing woodworking.
And then every now and then,
one of those passion type hobbies.
try popping that.
I'm behind because I take a ton of projects before finishing others, so I'm scattered lately, haha. Bro, that's the best tutorial for a natty I've ever heard. Thank you so much.
No problem. Absolutely. Hopefully it'll help. There is, if you're ever curious about tricks, they're called Whoop-torials. There's a whole playlist on our channel.
I haven't had a better Maddie tutorial. And not even from Maddie Stunts.
Thank you, that means a lot. All of the Whoop-torials that we did all have segments. And so the first segment, we're kind of explaining the trick and how your whoop should move. And we're showing you with our hands how the whoop's going to move. So you kind of visualize it. You can visualize how, you know, the stick inputs. And then we show you in the simulator, so you can see it like this, where you see it on the screen and you hear us kind of just like how you did, walking through the trick. And then finally at the very end, we show you just how to pull off the trick like in a freestyle line. But there's not, I think there's 13 or 14 tutorials up on there. There's more of them that are coming. I just haven't had the time to record them yet. But there are definitely more coming. And these are really whoop focused. So these are pulling off these tricks with a whoop. A lot of them have to be done just a slight difference in a whoop. A little more throttle, a little more aggressive on the pitch, a little more aggressive on the roll. There's always like something about whoops where you do, there's always a little more oomph is needed for it. You gotta flick a little harder, you know, to like carry your weight or your momentum. It's just always a little more than what you would have to do with a 5-inch quad. You just gotta do a little bit more with a whoop. I love doing Maddie Flips, they're a lot of fun.
I'll have to look for the hook tutorials. I've been struggling with the trippy spin.
There is a very good trippy spin tutorial that I did.
What is your suggestion for getting comfortable from switching to acro? I'm currently flying 65s, so acro feels like a cat in a bath.
Yeah. Hang on, we'll touch on that in a second. As far as for trippy spins, there's a great tutorial.
FPV names.
Well,
can you freestyle that hard with more camera angle?
I've had people tell me it's a good
instead of just racing around.
It's a good tutorial. Not to toot my own horn, but I've heard people say that they've been able to learn trippy spins pretty easily after the tutorial, the whoop tutorial that I did on trippy spins. Hopefully it'll help. If it doesn't, by all means, let me know. Hit me up.
What camera angle do you usually run on the sim?
Okay, sorry, I'm gonna get through all of these, I promise. Getting comfortable switching to acro. So what you can do is go into beta flight and slowly start upping your, lowering your angle strength. And what that's going to do is it's going to give you a little more play room. So, you know, right now with angle, if you tilt all the way forward, it stops you. Your gyro stops you where you just can't go any further than like right here. If you lower the strength, it'll kind of let you start to get past that point. And what that'll do is just teach you to balance yourself. You want to stay level. So you'll teach yourself to, you know, shoot yourself back in different directions and balance yourself back out.
Yes.
But telling you right now, learning to fly acro in a 65mm, you are putting yourself at a very big disadvantage because 65s are so touchy. They're so touchy. I don't even like freestyling 65mm whoops because of how touchy they are. It's hard to get nice smooth lines out of them because they're small wheelbase. You know, the propellers are too close together. There's more weight than there is power on those, so it's kind of a balancing act. It's just hard. It's hard to learn how to fly acro with a 65. So if you can master it with a 65,
I will have a 75 Monday.
I will guarantee you
then
that you can fly anything. If you can fly a 65 around your house in acro, like it's second nature, you know, you get used to it like that, you can fly anything. I learned how to fly on a 2S 75mm indoors. That was how I figured it out, and it sucked. It was so hard. But I'm glad that I did, because the next whoop that I got was 1S 75, and it was like, this is so easy. Like, you know, I'm used to something that's twice as fast as this. So it was much easier. But yeah, the more challenging you make it to learn, the easier it'll be when you go out to other things. Like I learned how to freestyle in a really tight space in my garage, really small area. So go out into a big area, and I'm used to freestyling with no room. So having tons of room, you know, I do all types of fun stuff. It's epic. I love it. Speaking of wicked good FPV names, do you have a wicked good FPV name? Which one was it? If it was Saggy Balls, then I agree. Can you freestyle that hard with more camera angle? Yes, I can. I don't prefer it. I don't like the way it looks. I like 15 degrees. That's my normal. Like right now I'm flying 15 degrees. But honestly, we can put it at 0. It doesn't matter. Honestly, camera angle is the only thing that's really...
FPV.
The only thing camera angle is really going to change is just your forward momentum. How flips happen. But like you want to do trippy spins at 0 degrees, you can. It's not that hard. It's just a matter of, you know, taking the time to figure it out. Now, what I will say about flying a lower camera angle is that it does make going backwards way easier. Flying backwards, I'll just show you. So I'm not going to use...
My name has been earned over a long time.
I'm going to give myself just a little pitch for forward momentum. We're going to get even. And then I'm just going to yaw around. And now I'm rolling. I'm backwards. I'm cruising. I got a decent speed too. And I'm cruising backwards. Good.
Flying inside was harder for me with a hoop.
But I could still kind of see.
I learned outside flying between the cactus in the front yard and
I can see what I'm doing. Right?
Bro.
I can see what's going backwards here. I can see what I'm doing. But now let's take it up a little bit. Let's go up to like 35. 35 is a pretty common, 35 to 25, pretty common freestyle angle. So if I flip around backwards now, look at the fucking ceiling. Like this is difficult. I can't even tell where the floor is. Before, at 15, I could still see the floor. So I could tell if I was too high, too low. I could adjust my throttle. 35, I'm backwards, man. Nothing. However, at 35, you can do trippy spins under just about anything because a higher camera angle is going to make it easier to keep yourself up. You're going to use less throttle during a trippy spin. It's actually kind of hard for me to even get into one. I'm not used to doing them so easily. Jesus. All right, hang on a second. We need like an actual... Give me like an actual upright pole here. But 35 degrees is going to make like power loops will be easier. See, I can kind of like, I can see the whole freaking thing the whole time. You can see the whole thing underneath you. Maddie Flips too. It could make things a little easier with a Maddie Flip the first half. Second half going backwards, that's going to be a little harder. So it's got its ups and downs. I prefer the slower angle, just like you said. Specifically because it slows me down. Because it slows me down, it makes me... Oops. It makes me able to do things. Process. I can think about what my next trick's going to be. I can... think about what can I do with this bridge right here. I can Maddie flip it. I could split S over it and go underneath into this little opening and then do a little sideways power loop over this side. But like this gives me time. I can think. Faster angles, you know, you kind of lose a lot of that processing time because you're moving. You're going really fast forward. So, but no, I dig a lower camera angle for freestyle. It's just it gives you, I don't know, it gives you more, a little more flow, in my opinion. A little more smoothness. Things move a little slower, so the audience, the viewer, kind of has a better idea of what's going on, you know? Like, if you guys ever been watching one of Mr. Steele's videos, right? And then this dude will just... And then he's flying forward. And you're like, oh, that was cool. But then if I asked you, I'm like, what did he do? You'd be like, well, I don't know. I have no idea. I just saw the screen was blurry for a minute, and then he was forward again. Stuff like that. It's like higher camera angle, faster rates, things like that happen, and it just, I don't know. I've never liked that. Not my style. Nothing wrong with that style. It is a style for sure. It's just not my style. I like a little slower, a little smoother, a little more of that like kind of bendy, you know, that bendy stuff, bending back and forth over things.
Oof, his videos irritate me. He can fly, but I don't enjoy it.
Yes, he can. Exactly, same here. I just don't enjoy his style, that's all. But I know he has style. I see that. It's obvious. Like, he knows how to control a quad.
Steel is not my style at all.
Exactly.
I prefer slat and bubby type of flow.
Same. Yeah, same. I love slat. Slat's got really good style. And yeah, exactly. It's people are always impressed with Mr. Steele.
Is it just me, or do Juicy Flicks not look as cool on whoops?
They're always impressed with him at the beginning, and then they see other pilots and they're like, oh, so there's more to this. Like, it's not just about how fast can you rotate your quad, how fast can you do a flip. You know, there's a lot to it. There's how much of your style's coming through on the sticks. Is it just me, or do Juicy Flicks not look as cool on whoops? Juicy Flicks can look cool on whoops. There's a lot of factors in Juicy Flicks that can make them look bad. One thing is your camera. Not your camera angle. Your camera. The field of view on your camera, if it's flat and it's not that steep of a field of view, and you hit a little Juicy Flick, it looks okay. Right? Here, hang on. Let's see if we can... Maybe I can demonstrate this a little bit. So let's go 115 field of view, and let's just a couple juicy flicks, right? Do a couple little spiral, a couple little Sabang tornadoes. But let's just do a couple little juicy flicks, see how they look. And I know you said on a whoop. I'm gonna try to show you what I mean. So one thing about juicy flicks that you want to do that I think looks best, you don't have to do this, it's not required to do a juicy flick, it's just something I like about them, is I like to do the flip over fast, the roll out slow. And it's a little tricky to get, to make your thumb do it, but you go quick and then you go slow. And what that does is it gives that kind of like that, like you're playing with time, like you're playing with the time in the editing of the video. So they see a fast movement and then they see a slow movement right after it. I love doing that. Or doing really fast rotation flips, like one way and then bounce back the other way slow. Or bounce back one way fast and then slow the other way. I love doing that. Just kind of playing with time and speed and stuff like that, and kind of make it look a little trippy. So that's my take on juicy flicks. Let's go high field of view, and I'll see if I can show you what I mean. Let's go like 135. It's gonna look insane. All right, so now everything looks faster, right? Everything looks kind of trippy. It's a little bent around the edges, a little zoomed in. So those juicy flicks look extra juicy. You see that? It looks so much juicier now, right? When it was all flat before at 115, it looked okay, but this one, it just looks way trippier, right? So you get that higher field of view, that can add so much to tricks. Everything. It can add so much to any trick. You're just able to see more and capture more in your camera. So, I mean, you can pull all types of cool stuff. Just with that. That's just one way I would suggest changing how your juicy flicks look on your
Looks
whoop.
great, Immo.
Yeah, I love the wider field of view. I think my whoop is 160? 160 field of view? Is it really 160? I think it's 160. Hang on. I'm right in front of a computer. I'm being an a-hole, not just looking it up on Google. It's right here. Foxeer Pico Razor field of view. What do you got? Gimme. Foxeer, Pico Razor. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. 160 degrees. There you go. Bam. So this is the one that I run. This is my normal camera. Is the Foxeer Pico. 160. So I was only
what
at
hoop part would you like
35.
to see have a big advancement technology-wise?
So I was only at 135 there. So imagine 160. You can't even go that high in this. Let me see how high you can go. 137. It's as high as you go. So 160, way different. Like, you know, that's gonna look way crazy.
Dude, you're amazing. I don't know why I can't make my juicy flicks look like that.
You will. It's just time. That's all it is. It's just time. A lot of stick time. A lot of playing around with things. Like I said, I play around with speed of things, how fast I do rotations. I just like to mess with all that stuff and just make it look as cool as possible. So if you have a juicy flick that's looking a little stale, figure out why and add a little zest to it, you know? Make it a little caliente. That's a fun one too. I've been working on those little straight up power loops with a little kickback. I was doing those on the Atlanta map. I haven't done those in a while though. Those are fun. They're difficult. Trying to do those IRL, just a little kickback like that. That's difficult. Especially in a whoop. Okay, am I all caught up? I feel like I missed something. What one whoop part
Which quad are you flying now in the
would you
sim?
like to see have a big advancement technology-wise? Ooh, you know, I feel like flight controllers just got a pretty big update with all the Express LRS stuff coming out. I don't know. Because like right now everything's going pretty good. There's so many things are advancing fast with whoops. I love it.
HD. I want a lightweight and cheap digital VTX.
Even HD, if he's asking things that I want to see big advancements in, HD's had a huge advancement in whoops. Being able to fit all these new HD systems on whoops is insane. Like the new Fractal 75 HD 0 setup. I was talking to Eve about that the other day. It's crazy. The weight on that it's not that heavy. It's like 2.5 grams heavier than my Freestyle build. I can deal with that. I can still have a lot of fun with that. And it'll be in HD.
Batteries. Give me 10-minute flights for the same weight.
Battery updates would be good. I don't know if they'll ever be able to get to that. Oh, we got some bad frames here, boys. Give it a second. It's because I minimized velocidrone to Google my camera. Now velocidrone's angry at me.
Is it possible to do a power loop with a 65 hoop with only 8 feet ceilings?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's possible to do a power loop with 8-foot ceilings and a 65mm whoop with a ceiling fan on above it. And I can only tell you that because I've done it. But yeah, it's all possible, for sure. It's timing. It's a matter of timing with whoops. So you can do power loops with whoops all day. And you can do them like this. Big exaggerated ones like that, right? You can do those. But you can't do that with an 8-foot ceiling. With an 8-foot ceiling, you got to do something more of like a quick one, right? You got to do more like that. It's got to be real fast. You're not going to have all this extra time to just fling up in the air, you know, and do like this nice big grand power loop like that. So you kind of have to make those adjustments. So if you're flying indoors, just do everything a little quicker, a little less throttle, a little faster on everything else. So you get those nice, fast, tight power loops. Same with Maddie Flips, same with anything else. Anything else you can do indoors, or you can do outdoors, you can do indoors. You just, with a whoop. You can do all of it. You just need to figure out what the combination is to get it done. But if you ever have a question, if you can do something in a whoop, just go watch any of the iGal weeks from season 3. Was a really good season. God, it went on for like 50 weeks or something. It went on an insane amount of time. Like 600 pilots competed.
My problem is not too much throttle, but getting back on the throttle, haha.
Yes.
I'm going to keep trying.
So timing with power loops is very important. I just went over this in the video I just let out last week, my top 5 favorite freestyle tricks.
There's less room for error indoors, but it's all possible.
Correct,
You said the G word and everybody's phone went off.
Yeah, that's my bad. They're listening to all of us. So with the power loop,
I got a coffee table. I'm trying to power loop.
there is a very, very specific point of a power loop where everything matters. And that's right here. Right here. Right here. This is the most important part with a whoop. Here. Right there. On the downside. All this, easy. This whole part. Getting up and over anything with a whoop, just go like this. Whoop. And just do an Immelman turn, if you didn't know what that was called. If you ever need to bail on a power loop, when you get upside down like this, just roll and yaw just a little bit to straighten yourself back out. That right there is an Immelman turn. It's the opposite of a split S. So if you do a power loop like that and you want to bail, whoop, you just spin out of it real easy. Just use your roll. Make sure you practice that because that's a good one to have under your belt just in case you go to power loop a tree and you're upside down and you see there's branches. Oh God, you flip out of it real quick. Just so you know what to do, practice that Immelman move. All right. So then the second part about whoop power loops is this right here. This spot right there. That's the important part. So you don't want to hammer your throttle back on. You don't want to stop quick. You don't want to go immediately flat. So you don't want to do this. You don't want to flip flat like that and then catch yourself with your throttle at the bottom. You want to dive. You want to get up, nose down, dive into it. Cut through the air. Feel it. You'll be able to feel your whoop. Your whoop's going to want to shudder. It's going to want to do the blah, 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 blah. When you come down, just keep adjusting your pitch till you get that nice dive. You dive through it, and you're going to do throttle and pitch. Same time. Right there. That's the important part. Right at the end. All this is easy. This is all momentum. This is throttle work. Momentum, throttle work. Momentum, too much momentum. Throttle work. So it's all at the bottom there. That's that hard part. So practice going further out and carving in a nice circle like that. So with a 65, you want to kind of be gentle with it. If you're getting that shudder, then go a little further back and just exaggerate it just a tiny bit more so that you're coming into this dive like a C shape. So you're not doing like a capital L, you know? You're not just coming straight down and trying to do that, because your whoop will never catch it. It's always going to shudder or tap the ground or slam into the ground. It's never going to work. So don't even bother trying doing that. Try to get the nice arc back into it. It's a dive, but it's a dive kind of like a fish hook. Like a J. You want it to kind of dive out of it like that.
Power loops were really tough on a 65 millimeters with 19,000 kV.
Extremely hard, yeah.
25,000 kV helped, and of course switching to 75 millimeters frames.
Oh yeah. Switching to a 75 power loops. If you can do a power loop in a 65, yeah, it's all day in a 75. It seems so easy. If you've only flown 65 millimeter whoops,
battery voltage on power loops with whoops. If it's too low, they bottom out easy.
Yes, that's that too.
I only try them when I've got decent power left. Have you ever thought about one-on-one trick training, $50 an hour or something? I'd totally be down.
I would never charge anybody for it, but I do that. All you got to do is hit me up and ask. But I do that. I'll hop in velocidrone when if I have the time. If our schedules line up, I'm always down to help people out. I'll hop in a Discord call with you, though. I've already done it a couple times. Yeah, if you just reach out, I don't care. I make videos now for nothing, just to help people out and teach you stuff. I just like doing it. You know, it's a true passion for me. Like
your time is worth money, bro.
I know it is, and I appreciate that. But to me, I don't know. This just doesn't feel like work. Doesn't feel like I should earn anything for it. I'm good. I'm fine. I just want to help people out. I get a kick out of that. That's payment enough for me. But yeah, you know, whatever. I just do it because it's entertaining to me. I know, you know, you guys get a kick out of it too, but I like it. So it keeps me doing it. Woo. All right, who's still in here? Are we all alone? Is there anybody else flying in here with us? False is still in here, like a boss. Oh, somebody asked. I'm flying the Yakuza in the simulator. I'm sorry. Somebody did definitely ask that, and I forgot to answer. I always fly the Yakuza, unless I'm flying the toothpicks. In that case, I like to fly the HX-115. That's pretty good in the simulator. IRL, not so much. But in the sim, it's pretty good. But I only use that for, you know, maps where it makes sense to use a toothpick, which isn't many. I usually just have fun with the 5-inch quads. Are good enough for me. You know what? You know what? Actually, I do have a good one. You know what I'd like to see improved a little more in Tiny Whoops is the action cameras. I would love to see an action camera get lighter and smaller. They're not bad now, you know. They're really light now, surprisingly. Oh, poop. Sorry, my son is getting ready to. He's at a sleepover. He's getting ready to go to bed, and he wants to say goodnight. Let me see if he's still awake. That was a few minutes ago. Hopefully, I didn't miss it. Woo!
I have learned a ton from your videos and I totally appreciate them. I always check to see your reviews before I buy anything too.
Oh, thank you.
You've been one of the most honest reviewers in the hobby IMO.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I try to do that.
Oh hell yeah.
I try to stick with that.
Thumb weight with like GoPro quality would be insane, the stuff you could do.
I have had, and I'm not the type of guy. I'm not gonna out anybody, but I have had I don't know if I want to call them companies. You know, small companies offer to send me things and be like, hey, you want to check out this thing? Sure. And they go, we'd hope that you'd give us a glowing review on it. I'd hope you'd send me a glowing product then. If you're not, I'm not going to say that it's good. That's not what we do here. I'm sorry, but you have to go to a different channel if that's what you want. But yeah, I could care less. They're not going to bribe me. It's fine. They can try all they want. I get a kick out of it. I just, nope. Sorry. But I'll be sure to tell everybody when your product sucks. That's for sure. But I just don't try those products, and that's fine. And honestly, I don't think I've seen any of those people, like, I don't think I've seen any of their products take off.
Good on you, man.
I'd have to really think about it, but
I've never been so into a hobby like
I don't
FPV.
think so.
I feel
I don't
like
think I've
so
ever
many
seen
more people would love it if they gave it a chance once they learn how to fly acro in the sim.
Yeah, I agree. There's a huge learning curve with FPV, which is unfortunate. Once you show somebody how to fly and they try it for the first time, there is a big make or break moment. Some people are just like, screw this, I couldn't be bothered. Other people are like, whoa, what is this? How do I master it? You know? There's definitely a big learning curve though with FPV. It's unfortunate. I wish it was easier to get into the hobby because it really is. I think it's a lifesaver for a lot of people. It was for me, and I think it is for tons of people. I think flight in general, maybe not just FPV, just flight in general. Paramotoring, skydiving, parachuting, any of that stuff. Whatever floats your boat.
There are so many barriers to entry.
It's therapeutic. Yes, there are so many barriers to getting into this. It sucks. And then so that's why it pisses me off so bad, dude. When I'm like on Facebook or something like that, I don't have a personal Facebook. I only use Facebook. I only made a Facebook because of FPV. It was when I got into FPV. OG was like, if you want to...
The barrier to entry is kind of
if you want to participate in anything, FPV is like, you need to...
Sort of.
You need to
it was easier to get
on
into
Facebook.
That it's just so frustrating
which
and
is
expensive.
Unfortunate,
it's hard to
but
break
true.
someone in. It has changed my life and fulfilled dreams.
But I... Just getting into... Trying FPV for the first time is like, yeah, you guys are saying it. You guys know. You're not oblivious to this. You guys went through it just like I did. It's just it's a huge learning curve. There's a lot to learn. You got to understand how to solder, do stuff on the computer. Oh, hang on. Let me say goodnight to my boy real quick. Check out some fish. I'll be right back.
Albert Kim here. Prepare for fecal compaction. I'm dead. Hi, does this read out every time? Would you like to play a game? Global thermonuclear war? Yup. Wow, that sounds fun. Hey Siri. I just tried the 1002 motors and they are amazing. I totally wish you would make FPV your full-time job, stream multiple times per week with Q&As and stuff. You would be so much better than some of the others that do it.
Alright boys, sorry about that. Just had to say goodnight to the kiddo. This is his first sleepover ever. So I had a feeling like when we got the phone call, I had a feeling like I was going to be getting in the car to go pick him up. Like he wasn't going to be able to make it, but it looks like he's going to make it. He was all proud of himself, brushed his teeth all by himself. Oh, my little boy. Steve Jobs says that he just tried the 1002 motors and they are amazing.
Lower,
Steve Jobs, where did you try?
VTAF controller and a DRL
what did you try them
how
on?
I started.
What kind of build?
Little did I know it was the beginning of a crack addiction, and now I'm $2,000 in.
Tell me about it. Tell me about the 1002 build. Would you like to play a game, Global Thermal Nuclear War? Huh? What? Yes, it does read out every time, so that I can fly and not read chat, which is pretty.
The recent power 19,000
pretty
kV.
Sick. So that I can hear and fly. I totally wish you would make FPV your full-time job, stream multiple times per week with Q&As and stuff. You would be so much better than some of the others that do it. Well, first off, thank you. That's very kind of you to say.
I also
Second,
have the fractal frame coming soon.
I'm working on that. I don't know how familiar you are with the channel,
not play at all.
but Infinity Loops is a company. It is a legitimate LLC. It's a business. So this is becoming my full-time job, slowly but surely.
Ever see War Games? Sorry, I'm old.
That is the goal. Is eventually I would actually love to teach this in schools. I would like to do assemblies at schools. My wife is a teacher, teaches first grade, so she has a really good idea about how to write curriculum and teach kids, and I don't, but I do have a good idea of how to fly. So the two of us together, I'm hoping, would be able to make a pretty cool assembly. And it's tiny whoops, so I can fly them indoors. Yeah, these are all future plans. Eventually, there's an online store idea. I don't know how far that's going to go. Getting my Part 107 the end of this year, hopefully. I'm studying for it.
With our powers combined. I'm so glad more people are getting.
But I'm getting there.
Frames.
I'm trying my
really
best to make this a thing, because it's so much fun. I can't, like, I'm truly addicted to it. Like, it's a real addiction. Not a problem though, which is great. It's like it's an addiction I'm happy to have. The barrier is getting lower, honestly.
Am I the only one that disarm crashes into my women's ass constantly?
No,
when will
you're
you
not.
Release the Infinity?
Sorry, I'm pausing Robot Lady real quick so I can catch up. I told you, okay, I read that. The barrier is getting low, honestly. A $40 FPV, beta FPV controller and DRL sim is how I started. That's all you need. Yeah, that's all you need. Little did I know it was the beginning of crack addiction. Yeah, and $2,000 in is like tip of the iceberg. It's gonna get worse. But yeah, welcome to your new addiction, man. It's a fun one. Probably one of the safest addictions you could have. Oh, you put them on the Mobula 7. Okay, cool. And you like them? You're digging them? You also have the fractal frame coming soon. Now that right there, that is a piece of art. The fractal engineering frames are something to behold. Me personally, I have not been impressed with the 1002s on a whoop. A 2-inch toothpick, wow, really good. But a 1S whoop, They feel good until I get into the snappier stuff that I like to do, and then I get a lot of slop. And I think it's because they're about 3.5 grams heavier than what I'm used to. And on a build that only weighs 23 grams normally, adding 3.5 grams to it it's quite a bit of extra weight. So I definitely feel it. But man, on a toothpick, God, they were fun. I've had a blast flying those on the 2-inch toothpick I got.
Loops online store assembly NFTs. Oh, I want a framed infinity loops drone with lights and shit plus an NFT.
NFT.
I bought the combat pack for bonus maps.
Oh no! Damn it! Matthew, hang on, I'll tell you why that sucks. Give me 1 second. With our powers combined, yes, correctly. I've never seen War Games, no. And don't apologize for being old. It's silly. You're an FPV. I'm pretty sure the majority of us are old. Not all of us, but majority of us are old. Older. I'm so glad more people are getting into the fractal frames. Yes, I am too. Before I was a fractal engineering pilot, before I flew for them, I loved their frames. I went out of my way to buy them. That's what I wanted to fly, was just the fractal frame. And then he hit me up and said that he was going to build a 75mm version of the 65. I was like, shit, that's what I fly. I fly the 75mm normally. I had been flying 65mm just to fly the freaking fractal 65 frame. So don't threaten me with a good time, man. Send me a 75. So he sent me the beta frame. Like, this was the early access testing frame, and I'm still to this day flying the same one. I can't break it.
Do you ever fly DJI 5-in?
Can't break it. So something to be said about those fractal engineering frames. Really, really well put together. Am I the only one that disarm crashes into my woman's ass constantly? No, you are not. I do that all the time. I wall tap my wife's butt constantly. Just fly behind her, just give her a little. Love it. When will you release the Infinity Loops online stores? The assembly NFTs. What even is that? Somebody said to me...
Does your fractal 75 weigh 23 grams?
Yes, it does. Fully built. Motors, props, everything just dry, not a battery. It weighs 23 grams, almost, I think flat, or maybe it's like 23.2. But it's under 23.5, so it's 23. But with the RC and power motors...
You gave me a good reason to actually practice wall taps.
26.5 grams.
Gotta make dinner.
So
I'm still kicking it.
It's up there.
Just being a lurker.
No problem, man. Get your grub on. I've never flown DJI, period, in general, just at all. I've never flown DJI. Never seen it. I would love to, just not interested in purchasing it myself, just because I don't fly a whole lot of 5-inch. I do. I don't, it's like I fly a whole lot more micro than I do 5-inch.
I have ELS 25,000s and buy blades coming with my 75.
Nice, dude. Oh my god. Yeah, you're gonna love that.
That's cool. I have a fractal frame coming and my Mob Light and Mobula 7 each weigh 24 grams, so it should feel about right.
Yep. Yeah, you should be really, really close to the same feeling. Should be perfect, honestly.
Would you use a Cat's Baby Radle 2 on a Mob 7?
No, probably not. I prefer the Foxeer Pico Razor. That's my favorite camera to use right now. The picture quality on it is just... I can't find one that's better for the weight. So the Ant has really good picture quality, and I'm not denying that. The Ant has really good picture quality, but it's freaking huge. That camera's so heavy. And the camera I use is probably like...
Can you fly live on Uncrash Simulator for us? I'd like to see you fly it. It's
a good portion of the weight of my other camera, like there's a big difference. From the Foxeer Pico to the Cat X Ant.
Do you know why they have that weird female connector on the Pico?
I don't know. No, I really wish they didn't either, because it sucks to have to desolder that and solder on a normal one. But, man, price you pay for a really good camera, I guess. Yeah, I don't know why. Do I have I don't think I have any contacts at Foxier. Maybe I'll just see if any of them follow me on Facebook. I'm about to just write one of them a message and be like, can you not? Hey, Foxier, can you not? And just not say anything else. Can you not put the damn female plug on there like that, dude? I would rather, you know...
True addiction.
I would rather have the normal pigtail on it for like a regular camera. Just a regular whoop board camera. Why does everybody gotta be weird? Like Newbie Drone. Newbie Drone, stop being weird. Stop doing weird stuff. Oh, you guys like 1mm JST plugs for your motors? How about 0.8 JST motors for you? No, man. No. Why? Why'd you do that?
NTSC or PAL?
It's up to you. I don't see the difference, honestly. I've heard some people say PAL.
NVD pisses me off.
So there's a difference between the two, and somebody just told me it the other night, and I've already forgotten it. God damn it, I'm worthless. PAL.
Have you used the pinch cameras? Racers swear by them, apparently.
PAL might give you more TV lines, or more lines of data, and like the other one gives you faster picture, like gives you the picture quicker. So one of them gives it to you at like a little better. One of them gives you at a little better picture, and I think that's PAL. And then the other gives you slightly worse picture, but at a faster delivery rate. I think that's what it is. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Hey, did you figure out what a donkey loop is? Somebody... I've heard the name. Show me, Callisto. I've heard the name. Do you know what it is? I've heard the name of a donkey loop. Where have I heard that? It's not a Shawnee D trick, is it? One of Shawnee D's new tricks? A donkey loop. Yeah, the only thing coming to mind is a donkey punch, which is not the same thing. Newbie Drone pisses me off. Me too. Me too, bud. I paid $100 for that damn flight controller, and man, am I upset.
NTSC is faster 29.97, but PAL gives you more lines.
Thank you. Thank you. There it is. Brian, appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, hang on. Matthew. Oh, Matthew, if you're still here.
What's the best hoop antenna?
You bought the combat pack. First off, normally I would say best purchase of your life. You're going to get so many sick maps for it. However, the creator of velocidrone just yesterday made a Facebook post saying all of Boner FPV's maps are going to be included for free in the the more recent upcoming update. So they're letting out a mobile version of velocidrone of this, which is going to be sick. And when they release the mobile version, they're going to release all of the dynamic polyworld maps with the game, which means you won't need to buy the combat pack in like a month or so. It's just going to give you those maps. So that's why I was like, oh, shit, that sucks that you got it now. I mean, it's awesome that you got it. It's still sick maps, and you're helping support the game and blah, 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 further development, you know, all that good stuff, but whatever. You know why I said what I said. Have you used the pinch cameras? Racers swear by them, apparently. I do. I have a couple pinch cameras upstairs. And actually, I believe when I ordered them, Jesse, Mr. Tiny Whoop, sent me a 30-degree pound mount. I ordered a 15 and a 20, I think. A 15 and a 20 degree. The pound, that's the mount. So they have a pinch camera, and the pound is the mount that goes with it. Which I believe it was TPU 3D printed, the mount. But yes, I did try them. I'm not a huge fan of the field of view, I think it was, on the pinch. Not a bad camera by any means. Just for what I use, or for what I do, I prefer, I think it was a wider field of view that Or it was a more narrower field of view, maybe. I don't remember exactly. It's been a little while since I tried them. I did a video on them. They're on the channel. Again, not bad cameras by any means. The Pinch. A lot of really prominent, fast boys. Yeah, swear by the Pinch. But then again, there's people like OG who swear by the BI, and I think the BI is awful. Drone's camera, I don't like that at all. I've never liked it. I tried liking it. The colors are flat. The picture just looked bad to me. I didn't like it. But he swears by it, and he's fast. OG is fast as hell. But you know, I can't get down. I can't get down with that. Can't get down with that BI camera. The Pinch wasn't bad though. I like the Pinch for freestyle. It's subjective, you know. It's some people swear by the Runcam Nano 3 for freestyle. I like it just for the weight. If I'm trying to do an ultralight, really lightweight build, like when I did the Fractal 65 ultralight, I used the Runcam Nano 3. But if I'm not worried about weight so much, I'll just use the Foxeer, the Pico, which a lot of racers use that too. I think the three main ones that I see a lot are the Pinch. In racing, I see the Pinch, I see the Pico, and I see the BI. Oops. Woo. God, I'm so nervous now. I keep hearing my phone vibrate, and I keep thinking it's going to be my son, like, come pick me up, I'm scared. He's never slept out anywhere. I feel like, you know, he's going to get homesick or something. Hopefully not. It's already 11:30. Hopefully he's going to sleep. What time are we working with here? Oof. All right. Let's chill for a second. How long we been up? Okay. We're going to kill Sim for right now. I'll chill for a little bit if you guys just want to hang out. I don't really have a whole lot to do tonight, so. I got a whole bunch of Whoop batteries I can kill. Let's check out race day quads and all that stuff. Let's do our usual. I saw these new Foxeer VTXs. They're like 1,000 watt, 1,000 plus. Does it tell you what the max is? Or are they going to leave us with the old plus?
I was dumb and bought 4 of those NBDFCs. Man, I just got that shit like a
no,
couple weeks ago.
Of them?
Well, hopefully Boner gets some cash out of it. Thanks for that camera info,
Unfortunately,
Brian Howard.
He doesn't.
PAL frame rate is slower if you want to use your DVR. Use NTSC.
There we go. Thank you, Callisto. That's a good point. Especially if you're trying to record things, you're gonna want frame rate for sure. For sure. That faster frame rate is nice.
I'd love to send a super chat, but I'm broke at the moment.
Don't feel like you
sure
need to.
You sure deserve it though, Mang.
Don't feel like you need to. I appreciate it, man. I just like you guys hanging out and having fun. I'm not worried about any of the other stuff. It's all good. No worries. It's really not going to tell us. Oh, never mind. 2.5 watts. Jesus. 2.5. Where are you flying with that? Are you trying to outdo Express LRS at that point? You trying to outfly your RX? That's insane. I have I have Foxeer's last VTX they made. I think it was a full watt, maybe.
How did you get so good at flying?
Never needed it though, you know? So much power.
He sure dies.
Best whoop antenna? Steve Jobs really depends on goggles, what antenna you're using, and what you're flying through, really. Like what the situation is, the air around you, all that. All those things play a factor,
Do you think you could play some uncrashed?
I was dumb and bought 4 of those newbie drone flight controllers. Jesus. I got 2 of them and I'm kicking myself. Although I am going to send one out to a buddy of mine that races in Arizona. He had one blow on him and I offered to send him one out. So that's good, I guess. Somebody's going to get some use out of it. I just got that shit like a couple weeks ago. Yeah, Boner doesn't get any of the money from it, unfortunately. I have been a advocate to give him some of that money though for a while, so hopefully soon they'll give him some. He deserves it, man. The whole reason that map pack, that combat pack, is as good as it is because of all of his maps. Like, it has nothing to do with combat anymore. Combat sucks and nobody plays it. So I mean, it doesn't suck. It's fun, but nobody plays it, so it sucks because there's nobody there. It's just playing combat by yourself. So there's no point in buying the combat pack to play combat anymore. But there's every reason to buy it to get Boner FPV's maps because they're sick. They're so much fun. What the hell is this, Radio Master? Interesting. Sorry, I still need to catch up. Poodlehawk, thanks so much, brother. I appreciate it, man. $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much, dude. As always appreciated. Never required, but always appreciated. Thank you so much, man. How did you get so good at flying? Well, first off, thank you. I don't consider myself very good. I just feel like I do it too much. But I fly. I fly probably about 4 hours a day, every day, and I haven't missed a day in 2 years. I haven't missed a day since I started. So if it's raining outside, then I'll fly a whoop indoors.
I watched your daily flyer VID where you were using EP2S.
If I'm not going to,
flight controller with Elvis built and negated that.
Then I will fly in the sim if I can't fly my whoop in the house. Otherwise, I'm out. I go out places and try to find new places to fly. Take the 5-inch out to the park and just let her rip. Let it eat, as I like to say. Just get down there and just let that bad boy howl. Anything, man. I mean, this is like life for me now. It's like it just took over every aspect of my life. Gladly, I invited it in. I don't mind it being here. He sure does. Thank you, Poodlehawk, again, man. I appreciate it. Philly Solid, do you think you could play some Uncrashed? Yes, absolutely. I have played Uncrashed before. I just recently tried it again. They had an update, I believe. They had a new map. Did they have a new map or two added within the last couple months? And I tried it. I will gladly play it again. Probably not tonight. I'm getting ready to head out tonight. I'm just going to chill and talk for a little bit. But yeah, next stream I do. Let's do that. What's the next stream you'll be around for, Philly Style? What's your schedule looking like? Will you prefer a night stream or a day stream? Because this week I'm going to try to do one on Wednesday again. Try to do that midweek stream. And I'm going to try to do more flying IRL. I'm going to try to set some gates up around here and just fly my whoop around the basement and stuff, around the house. We'll see how that works out. But my son's back in school, so during the daytime I actually have some time. So that would be cool. Try to do that. But up to you. Let me know. Let me know when you're going to be around and when you're available. And hell yeah, I will definitely fly Uncrashed again. It's a very pretty looking sim. I watched your daily flyer vid where you were using EP2s. I assume the new flight controller with ELRS built in negated that. Yes, correct. You would be right. I just recently... This is so annoying. I just recently got... I got a batch of five Crazy Bee diamond flight controllers. So all 5 of those came in, and 3 of them were dead. So, luckily, I have some friends at Happy Model that were willing to send me replacements. So they sent me ELRS diamond boards to replace my diamond FR Sky boards. So I had ordered the FR Sky ones because that's all that was in stock. And I was just going to do my normal, pop a EP2 on it, do my normal shtick. Instead, they sent me some of the ELRS boards, and so now I have 3 of the ELRS diamonds, 2 of the regular ones. So I go to plug in one of the regular ones to the PC, and I plug it into a USB port, and it smoked. Not the USB port, the flight controller smoked. I have never in my life seen a flight controller smoke from USB power. It wasn't even battery powered. It wasn't even under the battery. It was under USB power. So the board smoked. The whole downstairs down here smelled like burning plastic for like, I don't know, a good hour or so. So I just recently sent that one out, and I'm getting an ELRS to replace that one too. So looks like I'm probably done with the FR Sky versions for now. So EP2s, I have a bunch of them left, which is unfortunate, but I probably won't be using them on small builds at least. I'll still use them on toothpicks.
I still have a whole hoop build lost somewhere in the mail system.
Freestyle, thank you so much, dude, for the $5 super chat. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
That's exactly what Eve said happened to him.
Again,
I saw some pictures of the ESC.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
Under them after he took them off.
And please, Philly, let me know when you're going to be in here when it's convenient for you, and I'll do some Uncrashed for sure. Have they added anything to Uncrashed since the last I played it? I played it pretty recently. I feel like they probably haven't. I think Uncrashed, is that a team of 2 people, or was that Trip that was a team of 2 people? One of these really nice looking newer Sims, it's only 2 dudes developing it. It's either Trip or Uncrashed, I can't remember. It's one or the other. I still have a whole Whoop build lost lost somewhere in the mail system. Supposedly delivered on the 15th. No kidding. From where? What did you lose?
I believe Tot was TRYP.
You believe that was Trip? Okay. I'm pretty sure it was Trip. But I can't imagine Uncrashed is a big team either, right? I can't imagine. I mean, honestly, even like Velocidrone and Liftoff, those teams aren't necessarily huge. It's got some people on it, but it's not like a massive team or anything. That's exactly what you said happened to him. I saw some pictures of the ESCs with puddles of solder under them. Yeah. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier. Yeah, he's such a
Race
G,
Day
dude.
Quad.
Can you
Mob
imagine?
7V4 frame. ELS 25K motors, blades, and a Diamond F4 Alras.
That makes me mad. Have you talked to Race Day Quads about it? I was only on the 15th. That's 5 days ago. That's really annoying. Have you talked to them, though? Usually, Race Day Quads is awesome. I mean, even when it's not their fault, they're usually pretty good about helping people out, but yeah, I don't know. That's really annoying to have shit lost in the mail, though. The hell is that?
I have. They've been quick to respond. Asked me to check with the post office and the carrier, but I can't get any movement on it. Figure RDQ will do right. Only
Hopefully
5
they
days
will.
ago?
Hopefully they will.
If not, I'll pull the Air Force card and speak to the owner. He's an
There you
Air
go.
Force pilot, haha.
There you go.
RDQ has gone above and beyond for me before.
Yeah.
That's unusual.
Yeah, usually RDQ is pretty epic. They do usually have you hit up the Postal Service first, so that makes sense. Especially on a bigger order like that. That's unfortunate, man. That's so shitty. And with FPV stuff, it hurts more, you know? It's like, I really wanted that to get here. I really wanted that here today. Are these hollow? Oh, these are the tiny whoop ones.
Yeah, I have no doubt
okay.
they'll do it right. They got me through a Mob 6 issue with Happy Model real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, they're good folks over there. I love dealing with race day quads. I way too much of my time and money has gone into that website, but for good reason. It's like one of those sites where you just feel good about buying from them, you know?
Just have to make sure you do due diligence with USPS.
Yeah.
After Tyler investing so much money taking the FAA to court.
Exactly. Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, after all the time and money they spent trying to fight for everybody, you know.
Agreed. They gave me my own mill discount code, haha.
Oh, did they really? That's epic. I saw these.
I buy most of my stuff there.
These dark lithium. I really don't trust these. Oh, these were popular. I hope I'm right again. I was hesitant on picking up this version of the thumb, the Pro. So I skipped the first one. I was gonna grab it and do a video on it, and then I don't know, for some reason I just had like not a bad feeling, but I just was like, I'll let it come out and see what everybody thinks about it first. See if it's worth it. I'm glad I skipped it. Because I heard it was not so much worth it, the first one at least. I gotta watch that still too. Has anybody watched Flow State yet? Is it worth a gander?
That's awesome. R. Heck yeah, dude, just let me know what evening and time you want to do the uncrashed and I will schedule it in my phone.
Okay.
I believe the Pro is a bit heavier, but they sold out almost instantly.
If it's not...
I tried to get the Pro and it's gone everywhere.
If it's not this week, we'll do it this weekend. We'll do it on a week from today. We'll do it Saturday night. So I'm usually not live at nighttime.
Flow State is sick.
Usually I try to do
Flow State
dayside.
was a fun watch. I enjoyed it.
But I try to do both. I try to do dayside and nightside, so I kind of, everybody gets a chance to stop by the streams. So I'm going to keep trying to do dayside, nightside, and we'll see how it goes. But for right now, during the week, I'm trying to keep it dayside, just because it gets a little hectic at night with my son and all. So I'd say if you can get here next Saturday night, if it's nighttime only.
I did enjoy Flow State.
Nighttime
just
would be...
don't watch it on Plex. Too many damn blippy ads that are double the volume of the movie.
Oh, blippy ads anyways. Gross. Didn't that guy poop on his friend or something? My son tried to watch Blippy before and I was like, no. No. You can watch the Mario Brothers from the 80s. You can watch that. That's probably better for you. You're not watching Blippy.
Something of the sort. Yeah.
This is a weird fella. Okay, well, cool. I'll have to check out Flow State. I've had it on my things to do list. But so skip it on Plex though, huh? Is there anywhere else streaming it that's not Plex? I feel like they said they were kind of
seriously.
They said they were kind of screwed on places to stream it. They were being weird about like
tell M to call
what
drone
could be
camps
in it or whatever.
Prime.
Stop it. Drone camps, big friend of the stream. Friend of the stream, friend of the show, if you guys know him. Drone camps. Good guy, big friend.
Supposed to be on Prime soon. They were slow to get it going though.
Okay, cool.
It was fine on Plex. The commercials were perfect to burn a pack during.
Hey, that's a good idea. There you go. Are the commercials that long? Are the ad breaks like 3.5, 4 minutes, or? Because for somebody to point out the fact that they were that annoying, they're either really long ads or there's a whole bunch of them.
He's everyone's best friend. He told me I was friend of the year.
Stop it. Stop it.
Head, you always suggest fly liftoff micro drones. What are your thoughts on velocidrone micro drones pack? I've never flown a micro, so I'd like to try whatever's most realistic. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Okay, so velocidrone micros, great for racing, awful for freestyle. I mean, could not be more underpowered and more just kind of poopy feeling freestyle. Racing feels pretty accurate. It's pretty good. For for some reason, man, the micro freestyle, they just did not do it right. I can't stand trying to freestyle micros. The toothpicks are okay. The whoops in velocidrone are dog butt. I'm not a fan. Micro drones, liftoff micro drones, racing, I've heard, I'm not a racer myself, but I've heard from people that race, the racing side of it's a little sloppy. They're still working on the physics of it, so the racing side's a little sloppy. So if you're looking to race, velocidrone, micro drones pack, the micro pack, I've heard is choice. If you're looking for freestyle, and you're asking me, personally, I prefer micro drones, liftoff micro drones. For freestyle. They feel way more accurate to real whoops. They have the fractal 75 in micro drones, like the actual fractal 75. You can put 25,000 kV motors on it. You can put bi-blades on it. You can put a 450 battery on it. You can build what I fly in my daily. So doing that, I have a pretty good idea of what it feels like to fly my whoop. So going from that into the sim, I think it's pretty accurate. Really nothing else I could say about them. I think if you're looking to get into racing, I would go for velocidrone. If you're looking to get into freestyle and just feel it out, I would do micro drones personally. But that's just me. I enjoy liftoff micros, but I could use a few more maps.
If you could only
and they're adding them slowly, which is nice.
22,000 kV or 27,000 kV on a fractal 75, which would you choose? What are the benefits of the fractal 75 frame over the Mobula 7V4 frame? Interesting. Thank you for the in-depth answer.
No problem. Absolutely. I've put a lot of thought into that. A lot of people have asked me about micro drones versus velocidrone, so I've had a lot of time to think about that one. If you could only choose 0802, 22,000 kV or 27,000 kV on a fractal 75, which would you choose? What kind of motors? Unibells? Are the 22,000s, are they the Happy Model RS 22,000s? Because those were bad and heavy. I didn't like those. Depending on the 27,000 kV, I would say 27,000 with a small...
Both Tiny Whoop brand one-piece bells.
Okay.
Durability is the Fractal's strongest feature, and it flies like a slot car.
I would say the 27,000 and maybe put a throttle cap on it if it's too much. If you're getting wobbles, like if you're getting like a when you hit your throttle, like it's too much, over oscillating, you might want to do like a throttle cap. I feel like 25,000 kV on a 75 millimeter is about as far as I would push it. So if anything, I would go a little over, because I've flown 22,000s on my fractal 75, and they felt okay, but they felt a little dumpy. I didn't really like them so much. I did like the 25,000 kVs though. So if I had to choose, I think I would do the 27.
Work with Fractal to figure out how to build this hoop to be completely silent so I can fly once the fam is in bed. Haha.
Don't use bi-blades. Those bi-blades are loud as hell.
The same lines.
Okay, yeah, I would do the same. I would do probably 27,000 kV with a throttle cap, or just run it without a throttle cap. See how you like it. You might put a little stress on some ESCs, but run a throttle cap and it should be a little better. I would, though. That's what I would do. What are the benefits of the Fractal 75 frame over the Mobula 7 V4 frame? Durability is definitely one of them. Having a carbon fiber bottom, and as well as having the ducts sitting separately from the rest of the frame. So on a Mobula 7 V4 frame, the ducts everything's connected, right? So the ducts are part of the main frame of the whoop. It all blends in together, with it. Now with the fractal frame, you're cutting the ducts off, and instead of being mounted by the rim of the duct, they're being mounted by the bottom with screws onto carbon. So even if you break a duct on the fractal, you barely notice it. You'll notice a little bit, but you barely notice it compared to if you break one on like a V4 frame. Mobula frame. The other thing is that a Mobula 7 V4 frame, a lot of the plastic on the inside that makes the frame where you put your flight controller, if you have a look at it, a lot of that, the plastic is like this, straight up and down. So when you're flying outdoors, all those little tabs of plastic that are facing straight up and down are catching wind. With the fractal, everything is flat and carbon and thin, 1.5 millimeters. So you're just slicing through wind and stuff like that. There's a really good video I put up on Facebook of I'm hovering in front of the flag in front of my house, and you can see it's a 3.5 or 3 by 5 flag, and it's sideways. The wind is just ripping, so it's sideways. And I'm doing trippy spins and stuff in my fractal, and it doesn't even look like it's windy out. That's one of the biggest benefits, in my opinion. Besides the durability.
Structural on the fractal.
Aviation, what's up, brother?
On the V4,
how you doing, man?
Motor torque will have an extra effect.
Thanks for stopping by. What's up, bud?
Not on the carbon-mounted duct.
How you doing up there in Canada land? But yeah, I'd say that's the biggest perks that I've noticed flying it for sure. They're not structural, right? Yeah, it takes the structural part of it away from it and just puts it all on the carbon. That's probably my favorite thing about it, though. That's probably the biggest thing about it.
I'm chillin', man. How are you?
I'm doing well.
It
Thank you,
seems
brother.
like hoop frames are not always perfectly flat or even.
They aren't, yeah.
They seem to bend in weird spots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'll get weird little like pressure points in frames, like around the ducts and stuff sometimes if you get a little pinch in them. Like a little kink in the plastic. And you just don't deal with any of that stuff with the fractal frames.
I actually hadn't put any thought into that until just now. It makes so much damn sense.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
What's up at Avasion?
At Avasion. Love how Robot Lady says FPV. She tries to say it.
All my whoops are broken again, lol, always the damn FCs.
What flight controller are you using? Rocking them Beta FPV glass flight controllers? You look at those things wrong and they break.
AO at Callisto. Yeah, Meteor 65 Pro frames are trash. Those accompanied with the larger blades just cause too many problems.
Yeah.
How often do
agree.
you break a duct, especially in the winter? I can fly the same V4 frame all summer and make one a week in the winter outdoors. Y'all crazy on track 1 for Racecow. Baytaf F411.
I saw Rab drop a 16. Yeah, Rab drop a 16 on that Racecow track, dude. He's nuts. Nice with it. Rab's gonna be a hard one to beat. How often do you break a duct? So during winter time, this past winter was the first winter I've had the Fractal 75. It was the first winter that Fractal 75 was made. So I only got to fly it for about half the winter.
The Elvis Beta boards.
And I think the only thing that I broke was I broke one of the struts off of the bottom of the duct. So if you on a V4 frame from the motor points where they mount out, there's 4 even
Anyone want to
struts.
donate me a good
Pretty
FC
sure
that you
one of
think
the struts
would fly well?
popped off. I just used my soldering iron, melted it back onto the duct, and it's been fine ever since. The other nice thing is if you buy a replacement frame, you get all 4 of those ducts with you,
LOL.
right? But what you can also do is if you have a Mob 7 V4 frame,
I don't know anything
just
about
fly it.
Racecow.
Just fly
Where
the
do
frame
I
until
need
it
to go
breaks.
to learn?
And when the frame breaks, you can cut the ducts off it and use it with your fractal. There you go. You got spare ducts. The Beta FPV F4. Okay, I know which one it is. I think I have 2 of those upstairs unused. I'll check after stream and write you a message. If I have them, then I'll send them out to you. I'm pretty sure I do. I have to double check, but I'm pretty sure I do. I don't know anything about Racecow. Where do I need to go to learn? You can go to Facebook and go to just search Racecow on Facebook. You should be able to find it. I think there's a whole page for it now. I think they made like a whole group
I'm looking forward to my fractal frame.
You can also go...
That was my plan to recycle my V4 frames, lol.
You can also search for it on YouTube.
My ducks broke twice now in the fractal.
That way as well.
But it's an easy fix.
It's
if you
so
have
easy.
the no RX ones, holy crap, I would buy them off you. I've been buying a whole BNF just to rip out the FC.
Oh god, that sucks.
I think I might have one of those beta boards.
I'll see what I got,
I'll check my stuff.
Alright, so actually you can go to racegal.com. Booyah. Racegal.com. Registration now open. There's a little link here too. Tells you when the tracks come out. Here you go. When it's due. So if you want to get in, you can still get in for track 1. You got time. It's not due till the 31st, but you do have to do both tracks by then. Keep that in mind. If you're joining now, you got 2 tracks to lay out before the end of the month.
If anyone has them, I'd be happy to buy them off you and cover shipping.
Yeah, let me look after stream, dude. I don't. You don't need to give me anything for them. I'm pretty sure they're just sitting in a box, and I wouldn't do anything with them otherwise. So.
What the shit is even happening? Okay. My brain doesn't work that fast. I'll stick to freestyle.
Oh yeah. Just stick to freestyle. Racegal is absurd. It's absurd. Somebody asked me if I was going to do Racegal. No, thank you. I just I like freestyling too much. I just can't focus. If I get into a racetrack and I'm just like going in circles, eventually I just kind of like black out almost. I just blank out and I just start flying and forgetting what I'm doing, and it's a mess. So I just stick to freestyle. For some reason I can stay locked in there and I don't get all spacey and forget what I'm doing.
My anxiety can't handle racing. It's freestyle for me.
Yeah.
Race GOW is crazy. I'm debating doing it. Don't have time to build and learn these tracks in time. These tracks are for the fast boys.
Yes, they are. Yeah, that first track they let out, track 1, I was looking at it. I was watching, I think I was watching Neon. Neon did a simulator run, Neon FPV, and I was watching that.
I gotta go. I appreciate these streams and talking to y'all heads. Message me if you have them.
Oh yeah, man. I'll let you know. I'll check right after stream. I'll let you know. I'll let you know either way. Yay or nay. I'll send you a message. But yeah, if I have them, they're all yours.
Racing
I really
seems like it would create stress. Freestyle relieves stress.
I agree.
There's this indoor wood racing place like 30 minutes from me. I haven't been there yet. Something like Emerald City FPV or something.
Oh yeah. That's
Crazy BF4 board VTX went out. Would you install a Nano VTX on a 75mm or just trash the board and start new? At Sagaballs FPV sure exactly.
I'm trying to remember who does it though. Who runs this? Emerald City. Why am I having such a hard time thinking of who runs the place? I feel like I know who runs this one, but I just can't. Why is there a tiny hawk there? Ugh. Gross. Emerald City, yeah. I don't know, it sounds so familiar, but I just can't.
I think it's a lady pilot.
I can't, yeah, I can't for the life of me think of who it is. You think it's a lady pilot? That'd be interesting. Because there is another shop.
I have a bunch of Betaf 75X frames in my garage. Are they worth anything at this point? They're twos and the RX on the actual hoop won't bind for some reason.
Drone Zone in New Jersey.
Super jealous they have that space in Washington.
Also ran by a lady. OG and I went there for a race in December. It was around Christmas time. It was fun. Crazy BF4 board. VTX went out. Would you install a Nano VTX on a 75mm or just trash the board and start new? I'd probably just trash the board and start new. I don't know that it'd be worth. Yeah, I don't know that it'd be worth it. Getting a standalone VTX, you pay like $10 more, and you can get one built into a flight controller for pretty decent overall, you know. Yeah, if I was you, I'd probably just do it all over, or start new.
We have no indoor places anywhere near me.
I have a bunch of Beta
I've
75X frames in my garage.
It would help start more people in the hobby if there were more indoor places to fly.
Actual Whoop won't bind for some reason. So the frames themselves, I didn't like the 75X frames. I thought they were a little fragile. I used one for the newbie drone flight controller, the $100 one, whatever that was, the B-Brain V3. I used that flight controller, a 2S Tattoo 450 milliamp battery, and 1102 motors. And I used a Beta FPV 75X frame.
The frames are from 2018, probably V1 if they continued it.
And I think I broke it the first day I got it. They're very fragile though. Those frames are very fragile. The best part about those frames, in my opinion, is that it has 4 motor holes, 4 ball holes for your motor, so you can put bigger motors on. That's really the biggest upside to that frame that I can remember.
Totally agree. That's one thing that's really rough about the hobby, especially for anything bigger than micros. They're so dang loud and obnoxious.
Yes, they are. Indoor places anywhere near me. I've often wondered if it would help. Start more people in the hobby if there were some indoor places to fly. If people understood how good whoops are, I feel like that alone would bring more people into the hobby. Because I think people look at 5-inch quads and they're like, yeah, that's neat, but I live in the city. I got kids.
I have the whole drone. It just won't bind.
That's terrifying.
Considered replacing the FRSKYRX with an
I don't want to piss
EP2.
my neighbors off, you know, whatever. But if you show them that a whoop can like power loop, trippy spin, do Maddie flips and shit, you could sell people on some whoops easy. It's a toy, you know. But you show them a full-blown 5-inch drone and you're like, this is what you need to get. I mean, sure, they'll have a blast with it, but when you were brand new coming into the hobby, if somebody just showed you a 5-inch quad and they're like, all you need to do is drop $400 on this quad, $400 on your goggles, and $200 on your radio, you'd be like, okay, never mind, not going to do that. But if they were like $300 and you're in the hobby, you're built, and you're flying, maybe not the best, but you're in there. You're started. And when you crash a 5-inch, it's catastrophic. It's catastrophic. It's heavy. It's fast. Carries a lot of weight. So when you crash, all that weight's got to go somewhere.
Yeah,
all that inertia's got to go somewhere.
As you crash that 5-inch, you're out of hoop in repairs.
Exactly.
Never
yeah.
mind the $500 GoPro.
Oh yeah. God. Yeah, and when you eject your GoPro across a field and it's just laying in the grass somewhere, you're like, okay, well, that was fun. 5-inch quads are great. This is a lot of fun. I saved a pilot. I'd like to think I did. I saved a pilot from quitting the hobby. He only flew 5-inch. That's all he knew. He couldn't get a good tune on it. He couldn't get good flights out of it. He couldn't get good VTX signal out of it.
An expensive batteries and charger that will burn your life down when you look away for a minute.
He had a whoop.
But you can get it replaced for $200 from Best Buy. /sarcasm.
He had a Tiny Hawk, I think. He had an Emax something. It was not a good whoop. It was a bad example of what a whoop is. And it was an old whoop, you know, it was something out of date. And he talked to me for a little bit.
Unfortunately, it seems the war in Ukraine
and we
has
talked
seemed
in
to
sim for a little.
hobby's public image.
And
I've recently had many more
he got
interactions
right back into
with
it.
random folks who always bring up the drones over there.
Right back into it. Went on to compete in iGal Season 3, and I think he took 3rd place. He was 3rd place out of like 600-something pilots, and he was about to quit. He was about to just say screw it, because he was like, it's too much money, it's too much time, the learning curve's too much. Like, it's too much. It's overwhelming. And I don't blame him. Yeah. Expensive batteries for sure. Charger that may or may not burn your whole house down. Yeah. Yeah. If you just stare at it wrong, it may just spontaneously combust, blow your whole house up. Oh, but yeah, you can just go right up the street to Best Buy, get it replaced. Yeah. Yeah, that's easy. They've made that super easy. Now that they know all of us FPV assholes are smashing GoPros and bringing them up there to replace them. They caught on pretty quick. Unfortunately, it seems the war in Ukraine has seemed to benefit this hobby's public image.
I think the fact that you can get started for a couple hundo helps with whoops. BIIIIIIIIIG box gogs for $40
Many more
and a
positive
controller
interactions
for
with random folks,
$50
always
and a
bringing up.
BNF and you're ready
Okay,
to go.
I see what you mean. Yes, I have
Just
as well.
got done a
I have as well.
minefield too. The Cetus kits really aren't terrible for starters. Mid.
Just got done a midfield too? Do what? The Cetus kits really aren't terrible for starters. I've heard, yeah, I've heard those are pretty good. The Cetus kit's pretty good.
AI too expensive. Now I take a day off and just use the sim to practice.
I think the fact that you can get started for a couple of hundo helps with loops. Yeah, for sure. Minefield. You just got done? Wait, just got done a minefield too. Explain yourself. that doesn't read right. Explain yourself. Yeah, somebody just asked me the other day if I would be interested in checking out the new Cetus Whoop, which I've heard it's separate. It comes by itself, not in a kit. Is that true? Am I hearing fibs?
Do you think you could cut off the inside half of the Whoop duct on a Fractal 75 and it would just lighten it up and make it fly a little better? Ken Heron's Minefield event.
You probably
hobby
wouldn't fly any better.
Already.
It probably
this
wouldn't.
Time I came back to massive improvements over 4 years ago.
Honestly, cutting the ducts in half
put his on as a camera
would probably give you
lots
less
of FPV people this year.
A less like locked in feel. It'd probably be more disturbing, like more random disturbances in the air.
The Cetus X just came out.
If you want to do,
impressive.
If you want to do
I don't know the details because
the Fractal 75 and have it fly a little better, take the ducts off, put shorter screws on, and just do the motors and props, and just fly it outside that way, and it'll fly. Not a huge difference, but it'll fly really good outside. It flies great with the ducts outside. Like, I love flying it with the ducts. I don't even take the ducts off anymore. I just leave them on. It's just fine. I just get used to it. But it's fun. It's a fun little whoop. Ken Heron's Minefield event. I didn't hear anything about this. Okay. I've quit this hobby 3 times already. Oh, gosh. This time I came back to massive improvements over 4 years ago. Yeah. Good. That's good. A lot of people I feel like could come back to the hobby if they quit, like a year or so ago. It's just because things have come so far, so quick. It's progressing so fast. It's insane. That's one of my favorite parts about this hobby is that it just never slows down.
I've got ADHD so bad.
Cetus X just came out. It looks impressive. I don't know the details.
The improvements are huge.
But haven't seen...
Getting the notification for the stream so late, LOL.
Oh, bummer. I forgot to post on Facebook today about it, too. My bad. I'll get better about that, bro.
Maddie Flips.
I'll get better about it. 5 consecutive Maddie Flips? Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Get after it. Let's see the... you said this.
If I do well with beta flight, will Quicksilver be easy for me to figure out?
I legit figured out... I figured out...
All the remote ID stuff also has been a huge bummer
Quicksilver,
the past week.
Without looking up anything. I didn't look up nothing. Didn't need to. Just all pretty self-explanatory. If you understand what the words mean in beta flight, when it says things like gyro orientation, if you understand what gyro orientation means, then things will be pretty easy for you on Quicksilver. Quicksilver is like if you took Betaflight and you took all the weird shit out of it that doesn't make much sense.
That many options?
And then
remote ID is a matter of non-compliance.
Just use the things you just needed.
Don't sweat it. Good news on Quicksilver.
All the remote ID stuff also has been a huge bummer the past week. Yeah, remote ID stuff. It is a bummer to hear, but if anything, it's like 2 years out maybe from being
Does Quicksilver have battery sag compensation? I'm dumb and Quicksilver was very intuitive for me.
I don't know. We'll see about remote ID. We just gotta wait on that one. I feel like.
Yet it's technically impossible to fly a tiny
Quicksilver even have that many options? No, it doesn't, and
hopefully
I think that's
remote ID
why I
will
like
run
it.
the noobs out of this hobby.
I think.
But totally BS.
I'm dumb and Quicksilver was very intuitive for me. Yeah, exactly. See, I'm a huge idiot, and yeah, it came pretty easy to me too. Technically impossible to fly a tiny loop FPV without breaking the law. Really? We're gonna have to fight that one, I think. Hopefully the remote ID will run the noobs out of this hobby. I'd rather just train the noobs to make them not noobs. I like to grow the hobby. The more brains we have in this hobby, the better. In my opinion, at least. More eyes you got looking on it, you know?
Without a spotter, you're already breaking the law.
That's true.
God, no.
Yeah. I say 2 to 3 years remote ID will be here. Yeah, probably, something like that. Chopper Girl, agree to disagree. I think if you train noobs to make them more informed and better pilots, I think overall it makes the hobby better. Trying to lock the hobby down and make it like this special thing that only certain people can get into, I don't know. I feel like that just makes communities filled with like kind of douchey people eventually.
Noobs often bring a lot to the table.
Get a lot of Call of Duty vibes.
Your pilot skills are no longer
you know
special then. Right. The visual line of sight stuff.
Your pilot skills are no longer special then.
Drone could be considered dangerous.
I disagree, but
what's wrong with noobs?
That's just me. I think everybody's
Noobs
style and everything that's different,
better.
you know?
You were a noob one time.
Exactly.
I've flown less than a year and I feel like a noob still. We have to start somewhere.
Yeah, I still feel like a noob too. I still feel like I'm learning every day. That's why I still love flying so much. I feel like the day that I go to fly and I'm like, I learned everything, I should just stop flying then. You know? To me, I'm just like, well, that's it. That's the end of this for me. Moving on. I just don't think I'll ever get to that point. I always feel like I can improve things, you know?
I've been flying VTOL since 2008.
Well, yeah, but in 2008, you were a noob, no? You had to learn it at some point. You didn't come out just knowing how to fly. Yeah, I don't know. I see what you mean. I understand what you mean. I get your point. I try to look at this. I try to be a little more, I guess, optimistic about it.
I'm a noob to FPV, but I was into RC cars for 15 years.
There you go.
I'm a perpetual noob LMAO.
Same here.
Facts. But isn't remote ID only for above 250G quads? At Chopper Girl, then you should have plenty to teach us noobs.
Yeah, you're in a room full of, we all just self-admitted. We all just like, well, I'm a noob. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if I ever say that I'm...
there's 2 Quicksilvers? Boss Hobby and Enfei?
There is, yeah.
Chinese pizza.
Boss Hobby's the one that I use.
I flew for the first time last week. A drone I hand-built, it was an awesome feeling.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when you fly, when the first thing you assemble yourself, and you put it all together and it binds right, and it syncs to your goggles right, and it takes off right and everything, that's such a good feeling. Yeah, for sure, man. Congratulations, by the way, just on that feeling alone. Chinese pizza. Hell yeah. I don't know what that is, but it sounds delicious. Mainly because I'm hungry.
Question: I have a baby ape.
Yeah.
Wanna upgrade the motors?
Okay. I'd run them into the ground first. I'd run them till they just don't run anymore first. I mean, unless you're like feeling like it's underpowered or You feel like you need like more low-end throttle control or something like that. If you feel like you need to like swap KV for some reason because you want like a little more torque or a little less torque or something like that, I would change them then. But otherwise, I would just run those bad boys into the ground.
Yeah, they lost a lot of power.
Okay. Yeah, if you feel like
good, but there is always someone better.
Well, also, if you feel like you're losing power in them, there's a couple little things that might help with that. You could try doing. I don't believe in it, but you could try doing a little oil or a little grease. I've heard some people suggest. But honestly, just those Darwin FPV motors are
on a frame from Amazon with DJI
meant to be affordable.
Actually.
If that makes
Motors
sense.
get a little hot.
Meant to be affordable.
Long-time viewer, first time commenting, but isn't remote ID for quads above 250 grams.
I
blew some happy model
actually, I don't know. That's a good question. I know you're supposed to register them if they're over 250. I don't know about the remote ID stuff. Honest to God, I've avoided reading anything about remote ID because I really
1,203 to 1,300.
I really don't care.
3 seconds, 3 in.
Like, just being honest, I don't care until it's here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care until I have to care.
5,000 kV.
Good way to put it. Not saying anything against people that are caring about it now.
FPV,
That's good. I'm glad other people are caring about it. Because my brain just can't.
I can't comply. LOL.
Can't process it all right now. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a whole lot of non-compliance. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of that. And how are you supposed to regulate it anyway? It's gonna be a mess. It's gonna be a mess, and it's gonna be a free-for-all, but we'll see. But yeah, Seth, sorry I can't give you a more direct answer on that. Maybe somebody in chat will have a better answer for you.
Yes, it's for quads over 250G. Schet says it kicks in 6 weeks. I'm ambivalent as well. I took a break from FPV in 2016 and coming back my 5 ERS are illegal to fly in Canada. Staying under 250G.
I thought they said it was going to be like 2 years.
I think it will be fine.
Do we even know what the remote IDs look like? How much they weigh and all that stuff? Have they made them yet? Because shit, if they're going to be rolling out in 6 weeks, I imagine we should have an idea of what those tags should look like.
We don't have to comply until 2023. That was 2 years ago, LOL.
No,
just do
silly.
the test at Brian Howard.
Just like
it's
a
really
week ago.
Easy.
I feel like Blunty and
restrictions were
Blunty and Bardwell were talking about it on
stream. Are sept of next year.
I know they've been talking about it for like 2 years, but then there was the whole
they
fight
say
and all
6
that.
weeks, but it will take longer. My understanding is if you have a Part 107 and you're flying for compensation, then the weight requirement still applies to sub 250.
Really?
It doesn't kick in 6 weeks.
That would be weird.
Manufacturers have to start selling them with RID then. 2023 is when they want us to comply.
Well, I know RDQ lost the case.
RDQ lost their case.
Yeah, that was recent. That's what I mean. I heard
Bardwell say next year around September.
I heard Bardwell and Blunty talking about it on stream
last week.
Manufacturers
need to comply
when it failed,
soon, but not us.
Or when they lost the case and they were addressing it again. And I could have sworn they said something about probably take like a year, 2 years to roll out. Which I imagine, it's government shit. If anybody thinks that the government's going to get anything done in 6 weeks, you're nuts. Have you seen the MVA, the post office, anything that the government has control over? Not exactly a well-oiled machine, you know? So it's going to be a mess regardless. Either way, however this rollout happens, you know?
Maybe I heard wrong. 6 months. Manufacturer regs were pushed with no date declared. Individual is still Sep 2023. A lot off
Individual still September 2023. Okay. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I don't see how. I don't see how they could.
If you're flying for any reason other than recreational, then you need RID.
Okay.
Don't stress. It's unreasonable, and the tech isn't even close to ready. Compliance will be very low.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. I don't see anybody in the hobby that's like itching to go strap remote IDs onto all their shit. So how am I supposed to put a remote ID?
Our government screwed up the gas can
on an extremely small,
if you're flying for
lightweight
wreck,
quad.
Still need it over 250. Off topic. How to turtle mode a hoop on a slippery floor.
Put a little bit
as we
of
stay to sub 250
put a little bit of blue
in looks,
tack,
then we will be good.
or just like E6000.
FPV is such a niche of a niche that enforcement will probably be non-existent too.
On the top of the duct, just so
The
it gives it
gas can.
something when it's upside down. It gives it something to stick on the floor. I have hardwood floors all throughout my house, so I usually use blue tack, and it's like that gummy shit you can stick posters to the wall with. You know, it's like kind of like putty. And I just put a little thin little bead of it on the
TDS lady
two front
is killing me.
of my
LOL.
ducts, and I'll let her catch a grip on the floor and flip over. Yeah, TTS lady is getting a little. She's getting a little nuts. It's getting a little chatty in here, but that's okay. That's all right. I'll pause and unpause her, so she'll just read a whole bunch at once, and then she'll get quiet for a while. As long as we stay sub 250 and whoops, then we'll be good. That's what I don't understand anyways, is like, even if it was, so like my whoop weighs 23 grams, but I can carry a peanut on it and use it. I could go film some cool stuff with that. I could fly through somebody's house and get some pretty decent footage. So they're saying I need to put a remote ID on that if I'm making money with it. But, like, what if it won't hold it? Because it's, like, 23 grams already. You know? There's going to be a lot of red tape, I feel like. A lot of questions. A lot of hoops we're going to have to jump through. Fuck, it's going to suck. Whatever. We'll deal with it when we get there. Cross that bridge when we get there. FPV is such a niche of a niche that enforcement will probably be non-existent, too. Let's hope so. Can you imagine, dude, if there's just some dickhead cops running around looking for quads flying in the air and trying to hunt down whoever's using it to give them a ticket? Or if, like, some D-bag at the FAA is just getting paid to sift through YouTube to try to find people that are making money on a YouTube channel by flying quads. It's gonna be dumb. But hopefully, yeah, hopefully it'll just be too busy for them to keep track of anything. Small piece of kite string onto your quad, then it's technically a kite. There you go. There you go. That's a smart idea. Yeah, we'll find ways to bend the rules. What is that quad in your hand? This is the TS3, TS03, AOS3, AOST3. I don't. It's the Chris Rosser frame. And then there's some other stuff in it. It has a new flight controller and it's not out yet, so I'm not talking about that. But it's got a Fusion, Happy Model Fusion VTX RX in it, Express LRS. And I think it's a 400 milliwatt VTX or something like that. It's all right. It's got HGLRC 1202.5 motors. It's 3S. It's all right. It's a fun little quad. Just land it a mile away. If you're approached, land it and pretend you were watching a movie. Just watching a movie in my goggles here. Yeah, we'll deal with it when we get there, man.
Tie a small piece of kite string onto your quad, then it's technical a kite. Take a prop
Again, I
nut
just don't
inside
think
your goggles, then your quad
I don't think
is
they'll
in
be able
your
to
sight
enforce
all
it
the
very
time.
well.
Ha ha ha. What is
We'll see,
that
though.
quad in your hand?
We
Technically,
shall
yes. Mike, you have
AOST3. Thank you.
2,203 kV.
It's your next 3-inch frame.
Just land it a mile away.
It's pretty cool.
If you're approached,
pretty neat frame.
land it and
It's a little-
pretend you were watching a movie.
It's a little hefty.
Then go get your quad.
It's got all these
Not inside.
screws in the bottom you got
At
to put in
Chopper
there.
Girl, we could just
You
tie
know?
fishing line to them and say we're fishing. I'm going to put my remote ID
So
on a
short of
bird.
that,
For 107.
it's not too bad of a frame.
I
It's
guess
just a
we
little,
will have to see when
little-
it's
little
already
heavy.
yeah no. Yeah, this is for the DJI Mavic people flying over downtown. Hey IVIX.
Yeah, see, that's who I'd
I'll
really
check.
like to have to deal with this shit.
ADBS isn't taking off in general aviation either, but those guys are much more obedient Boy Scout rule followers.
Yeah.
Bashed my 250 into a water tower. FAA rules don't
Oof.
apply in the garage
Sorry about
or
your
sim.
250.
Not sure if I'd use a Phyogean now
Did
that
it
the
make it?
pancake exists and it makes builds even smaller. AOS T3,
not
my
sure
next 3
if I'd
frame.
use a Fusion now that the Pancake
It
exists.
looks like a better version of the FPV cycle frame with replaceable arms.
The Pancake? The flight controller? The Pancake? Isn't that a flight controller? Am I losing it? That's a flight controller, right? With like no VTX? Or is that the other one? They just let out 2. Is that the Super B? Is that what I'm thinking of? Which one's the Pancake? That's like the 2 to 4S one? 2 to 6S maybe?
Happy Model Pancake is flight controller plus VTX plus Alvars.
Okay.
The new
Gotcha,
AIO.
Gotcha. But it's not a 1S one. Yeah, it's 2 to 6S. Jeebus. Oh, it's open VTX. It's not bad. Well, I have had this Fusion since the Fusion was brand new. And I just needed a VTX because the flight controller
like an
I'm trying
AIO, but the ESC is separate.
is naked. The flight controller I'm trying has just ESCs. That's it. There's no VTX and no RX. So I used the Fusion because I had it on hand.
Which is what should be separated, as the ESC is the noisiest and breaks the most.
Yeah, that's actually a fair point. Yeah. I definitely break ESCs more than anything, or pop, I guess you could say. Not really break them. Okay, it is 400 milliwatts, the Pancake. Cool. I don't know that I like the ELRS antenna being dead center of the board like that. I mean, I don't know where else are you going to put it, I guess, but everywhere else it goes is always inconvenient.
This may have been asked a million times, but do you run caps on your hoops?
No, I don't. I don't even run caps on my 2S stuff, my 2S toothpicks and stuff.
Both my diamond boards I had VTXs go bad, unfortunately.
Every now and then, depending on the flight control, I might use one on a 2S.
Caps are for 2 seconds and above.
But yeah, usually I don't.
I love the Fusion, but sometimes I break off the antenna in a crash.
The VTX antenna? Or the, I guess I could see the VTX antenna coming off easily. It's like dead center as well. Yeah, I've had pretty good luck with the Fusion so far. It didn't sync up with my goggles very well the first time.
Antenna.
Oh shit. Well, that's a little different if that pops off. You got to break out the heat station for that one, or a soldering iron at least. Yeah, if your VTX pops off, that's just a UFL. That's pretty easy.
I'm trading a Vista for 8 VTXS and 4 cams tomorrow.
Jesus. You're trading 1 Vista? It's expensive. I think I'm going to wait for... Somebody was asking me about that earlier, HD. I think I'm going to wait for the goggles, the HD Zero goggles, to come out. And then I'll switch to HD Zero. But I don't feel like investing in any of them right now, to be honest. Walk Snail or Avatar, the Avatar system is just like...
I use a TPU canopy, and when I crash it will flex.
DJI is a little too heavy for what I like to fly. I like to fly micros. So
soldered one back on today.
HD Zero is really the lightest one right now.
PH 2.0 connectors.
TinyWhoop.com has some solid pin PH 2.0s, and I think Race Day Quads might. Let me check for you. I know TinyWhoop does, but I'm not positive on this. Let me see. Yeah, they do. Race Day Quads and TinyWhoop both have them. Race Day Quads has them here in 20 gauge and 22 gauge. If you're curious, I would get 20 gauge, just if you were wondering. But, yeah, they have them. GMB 27s. Get out of here.
Yes.
But yeah, you can go ahead and grab those. Now, I've heard some things.
The homie.
I've heard some
Heads.
things
Look
about...
at FB.
I've heard some things about solid pin PH 2.0s causing damage to the sleeve on the inside of the battery. So before, we were worried about using sleeves on the pigtail because they would spread over time and get loose, and then you would start to lose voltage or get sag. And now, apparently, if you're just shoving a solid pin in there, the resistance goes back towards the battery sleeve, and that can eventually get worn out.
Do you ever play
allegedly.
Tiny Hoop Go?
No. I have it. I have it installed. I just don't fly it ever. I've probably flown it maybe a half dozen times, something like that. I'm checking Facebook. Oh, shit.
Maybe that's what trashed my batteries so fast.
Whoa. Can I show this? I don't see why I wouldn't be able to. Where the hell is this? And how do I get there? You were flying here today? Look at this place. Epic. Look at all that shit up there. Oh, it's going to be weird and not let me zoom. Cool. That's sick, dude. I'm jealous. So jealous. Jesus, look at all those gaps. I can't like stop looking at stuff. There's so many like little just things. That looks like a lot of fun, dude. I'm jelly. Big jealous. I have yet to fly at like a epic place, you know? I still get a kick out of going to places that have like cool stairwells.
I'd break so much stuff there.
I'm like, sweet! This
There
place
even
is
is
sick!
a boat there.
There's even a boat there? What?
That's Ken Heron's playground.
Oh, okay.
How many pilots
That's
were at
sick,
Minefield?
dude. That is insane. I didn't know that's what you were dealing with. Good Lord. That looks like a blast, man. Oh, God. Oh, and I'm just seeing on the yellow band right here on the water tower, there's like a ring, 2 rings that run. Oh, you could dive through those on a... Ooh. Man. Yeah, this place looks sick. Seen all these little gaps up here, too. Wild, man. Yeah, it looks epic.
That is the Minefield.
Big jealous. Oh, he's got video, too. I'm not going to show it unless you tell me I can. I don't want to put anybody's stuff up here and have somebody, like, get embarrassed or they showed their dick or something. Your OSD is giving me insane amounts of anxiety, by the way. Just going to point that out. That was sick, man. What are you flying here? Yeah, it's cool, man. This spot looks sick. Looks like a lot of fun.
Don't expose his gimbals.
Don't expose his gimbals. Please. Don't go showing my gimbals to people in public. Okay, he says I can show it. All right, I'll show you what I'm watching. So let me tell you why this gives me anxiety first off. Because the second he takes off, both of his batteries are going to start blinking here in a second. And he's got both up. Which I'm not sure why, but he's got both up. Craft name is just craft name. And then when he keeps flying, link quality is just blinking. 0 link quality, this whole thing. That's why I said this gives me anxiety. I was just watching. There's so much shit blinking on the screen. The Maddies were tight though, man. The Maddies were clean. Well done, brother. Are we going to see the slap into the side of the water tower here too, maybe? He did say he aggressively hugged a water tower. Whoa, there's a fire truck there with a ladder up? Damn, dude, this is wild. This place looks sick. Bro, what do you get on this build? Do you get like a minute flight time? Is that it? It's like old batteries, or what's the deal here?
Sick looking place.
Yeah, place looks ridiculous. It looks like so
That
much fun.
place looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. Place looks nuts. Like I could spend all day there. I wouldn't be able to explore all of it. Okay, I guess this isn't the one where he smacked into the water tower. Big old toe. I appreciate you sharing the footage, brother. That was sick, dude. I want to fly there. So bad. Ugh. He's flying a 1S 3-inch also, by the way. For anyone. And he says the batteries are pretty trashed. Yeah. It looked like they were struggling. But it did look like a sick spot to fly. Big, big jealousy over here, my man. All right, ladies and gents, I think
What town is that in?
we can
Bought
probably
a classic bot grinder shoe landing.
wrap her up here. I think we'll probably call it. I'm going to try to get back on Wednesday, and I'm going to try to do some more like IRL flying if I can. I'm going to try to get some gates set up so it's a little interesting at least. We'll do some tricks and stuff. I'm going to try to fly outside. I'm going to try to fly outside from down here. We'll see. I don't know how well that's going to work, but
That would be most dope.
I have a feeling like my goggles will pick it up just fine because of the like my goggles, my receiver is good on my goggles, but the receiver I'm using to send to the stream is not as good. It's way cheaper. So I'm curious about how far I can fly with
Brownsville
you
TN.
guys still being able to see. So we'll have to experiment with that on Wednesday. But that should be fun. If you guys want to stop by Wednesday, we'll be doing that. It'll be morning side. So if this is a normal time for you, you probably won't be able to make that one. But yeah, you can always catch the VODs on our channel. And we got some new videos coming
I want
out
to pipe
this week.
antennas to my roof.
I got some stuff I'm testing out. This is one of them. But I got some other stuff I'm
Thanks,
testing out.
Isaacs.
And some videos should be dropping this week with some new stuff. So check that out. But until then, we will see you guys Wednesday. I want to thank everybody for hanging out tonight, coming out. It was a lot of fun hanging out and talking with you guys and chit-chatting. Let's do it again sometime, huh? Real soon. Until then, though, everybody get out there and fly for the last of the weekend if you can. Have some fun if not. And we'll see you Wednesday. Everybody take care of yourselves and have a good night. Later, guys.